welcome everybody. This is Good Buddy Comics presenting Good Buddy Chat with Riley Rossmo. Welcome to the show, Riley.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Thank you for
Oh,
being here. Yeah.
absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. For anybody that doesn't know, my name's Dustin Whitney, co-host of the Very Top's Tyler Laracy, and we kick things off. And Riley, I'm assuming you may never have seen the show, so kind of prepare yourself a little bit. But before we start the show, we open up the
Okay, I'm
club.
ready.
So he pulled the hat
Prepare
down and got
yourself,
serious.
okay.
Yes. But welcome to the club. We are once you join our club, you are officially Good Buddy certified.
Yep.
You are a Good Buddy. We apologize for
Yeah.
inducting you into the
You're
club,
welcome
but
and we're sorry. Yeah.
that's our motto. So no.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Riley. We've heard nothing. We've talked with you with a lot of our friends and artist friends, and we've heard nothing but great stuff about you. So this was going to be an absolute pleasure. I've looked forward to this all week. So
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah. Can't wait to get into it. There's so much awesome work. So
yeah, and it's crazy, Riley. As I was looking back at your stuff too, there's a lot of stuff. I like own a page of your art, and I'd forgot about
Oh,
it.
yeah?
It's a Rasputin page
Oh,
from issue
nice.
one that I got from Felix, and
Sweet.
some of the earlier stuff. Bedlam was one of the first books I started reading whenever I got back into comics, and I was like,
Oh, yeah?
oh, "This is Riley's book. This is Riley." There's just so much
There you go.
stuff that me and Tyler we're talking about. It's like it's incredible how much work you did. But going way back. I saw this on a YouTube short of someone reading a letter that you had written in issue 33 of The Walking Dead. And I don't know if you remember writing this letter or not. And if this is not you, if this is a different Riley Rossmo, I told Tyler, I was like, I'm taking a gamble on this.
what are the odds of that? Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
There may be
Oh,
a lot
yeah?
of Riley
There you
Rossmos
go.
up in Canada. Is this you? This is you,
There you
right?
go. That's me. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the crazy thing about this, Riley, is I had to download this issue because I this is one of the few Walking Dead issues I don't have. So I had to download this pull this letter, and I didn't realize this was like one of the most graphic issues of The Walking Dead. It's Michonne's revenge issue
Oh, yeah.
against the governor. So I downloaded that, and I couldn't find my Bedlam trade, and I thought, well, I'm gonna download Bedlam, and then I thought I'm gonna get on the list if I'm downloading issue 33 of The Walking Dead and Bedlam together. But this was really cool. This was really cool. So you started off, you were working in a comic shop while you were doing some of your earlier like design work and
Oh,
editorial
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. I finished college and I started working doing illustration in college. I did lots of stuff for magazines. Like when you read a magazine, and there's some like local magazines in Calgary, and there'd be an article about I don't know, like the best place to get fries in town, or where to get your computer fixed. And
Yeah.
there was like a group of magazines that hired tons of illustration students. And so I was doing that, and then I was like, well, this is a start, right? But it wasn't enough. So I did that. I did like movie posters and just any kind of illustration. Instructions. I did instruction booklets for this lady who invented this special baby carrier. Like I just did it all.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And the comic store was like right by my house, like 400 feet from my door.
Oh,
Nice.
gosh.
And I was in there every week, and I was like, oh, I kind of like to work in a comic store. And the owner was like, well, maybe work a day or two. And then I worked there for 4 years or something.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, which is that comic store still open now?
No, they closed after 30 years
Oh,
last year,
wow.
I think. Place called Another Dimension. They're amazing store, really big, really
That's
cool.
pretty dope name.
Yeah, I got an education in everything from like, the like how books come out on Wednesday, how you pre-order, final order cutoff,
Oh, yeah.
the frustration with the retailers when something's late, returnable books, like all the business stuff. And then the owner and the manager is still one of my good friends. He would be like, oh, well, do you know about Howard Chaykin stuff? And I'd be like, well, I kind of know Howard Chaykin. And he's like, well, do you know about Monarch Starstalker? And I'd be like, you just said a bunch of words that like I can hardly say it now. Monarch
Not at all.
Starstalker. What are you
Yeah,
talking
that's hard
about,
to
right?
say. Yeah.
And then I had to like dig that up. And then, it was an education in so many like levels.
I was gonna say,
That's
did you
cool.
find that like that helped you like transitioning into like then working and illustrating in comics or? Like having
Uh,
that foundation, like on the other side, you know, being like
yeah,
a fan and a reader, and
yeah. It like mostly the frustration of like the fans and the retailers, like
yeah,
punctuality, right? Punctuality. Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
If you mess it up, tell somebody before it's too late. You know,
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Like saying on like
Making the
schedule,
books
you're
out
saying
fun.
like getting like the books out on time and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then like the other side of it too, because like I deeply love comics. Like I was there on Wednesday this week. Like I go every Wednesday, Thursday at the very worst.
mm,
I make time for it. Um, and the importance of people being excited and being excited in like a brick and mortar space to me was important. To like
yeah,
people come into a store and they pick something up and you're like reading their book through and you're like, oh, you got like Walking Dead #5. This book's
Yeah.
crazy. Nobody's talking about. Why don't you? Everybody should be reading Walking Dead, right? Oh
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll try. It's black and white. I'm not sure. You know.
Yeah. So, well, it's crazy how fast word of mouth spreads on books that are good, especially in the local, because now there's so many people pushing books for the value that they can bring, like on the
Yeah.
aftermarket. But I
Yeah.
remember back when I first got back into reading comics, it was more word of mouth of like, check out this new book coming
Yeah.
out by this. If you
yeah,
like this one, you'll love this one. And it was, you bought it and you didn't really worry about what it's going to, bring you in 5 years from now. But
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun to be back then.
yeah.
But from all that with The Walking Dead too, this was you remember drawing this, obviously. This is for the
Yeah.
Hero
For the Heroes
fund.
Initiative. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So this was when they did the Walking Dead 100 project. So really, this was one, and I looked. It's cool. This was one of the higher bid ones too from that
Oh,
lot.
really?
So
Cool.
yeah. You could look it up and still see the value of some of those because I remember watching them back whenever these were released around 2012 to 2013 when the book came out, and I couldn't afford any of them back then. But it was so much fun to bid
So
early
cool
on
to
them
see,
and
yeah,
then get outbid
Yeah.
real quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this was a killer one. This was great. This was a good one, and it was just fun that you wrote the letter and then you got to
and
participate in
have
this
the
hero
this
project.
later on
So,
exactly, yeah,
but it wasn't long after the letter was written that you worked with the writer Alexander Grecian. I was unfamiliar with their work too. So how did that kind of relationship develop to be able to do these books
Oh
together?
yeah. Alex. So Alex lives in Topeka, Kansas, and you know, I'm gonna date myself, but it was like a different world getting into comics. I feel like then. So
Oh,
I didn't know what to do, right? Like there was
yeah,
Wizard magazine, and then I was like, I don't know what
mm,
else to do besides like send samples into companies. So I just send a sample, and you're like, well, I don't know. I guess that's it. And then sometimes
into
you
the
get like a
void,
back,
yeah,
hopefully, yeah,
and I
right.
started like accumulating rejection letters. And it's cool when you get something on letterhead from like DC for a while had like an open submission, uh, office or whatever. But I was like, well, I need to make comics. Like I need to do this. Like in college, I started in fourth year. I abandoned kind of all the other kinds of illustration. I was like, I can do this. I'm already working in that industry doing editorial stuff. I just told my teachers, I was like, listen, I'm just gonna make comics. And they were like,
Yeah,
well,
that's
I'm like, I'm already working. Like I'm already doing stuff in magazines. They're like, okay. So that's what I'm gonna do. They're like, okay. Okay.
well,
that's
Um,
I love that,
it's so crazy about the rejection letters too, because I'd read recently about Stephen Platt where he got hired on and to do Moon Knight, and then like two or
mhm.
three issues into the book, he received his rejection letter from where he had sent it out
Oh yeah.
earlier. So I mean, it's funny how those work, and then how you come back, almost have to use those as motivators in order to
yeah,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
keep on chipping away.
Well, and then it started before CrossGen went under. I can't even remember now who the editor was, but there's an editor there that was like, to paraphrase, he's like, "You're not there yet at all, but like, I'm gonna start sort of coaching you along." Like he's like, "I see some promise or whatever," and I was like, "Oh, okay," and that was cool. And then they went out of business, and
Oh,
you know. So,
it
anyways,
happens. It
I didn't. I
happens.
was like, okay, so what do you do now? And the only other thing I knew, because there's not like, there wasn't a ton of conventions. Like, there was none in Western Canada at the time. Once in a while, there'd be one in like a gymnasium,
Mhm.
and there'd be like an artist. Like, do you guys know Dan
Yeah,
Brereton? Or
I've heard the
Dan?
name.
yeah. I would say
He
it sounds
did.
familiar.
He's a painter. He did this book called Nocturnals. He's the only pro that I met at a show before 2006.
Wow.
And weirdly, this is like a weird thing. My mom's neighbor is Tom Grummett. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
know
really?
that Country Like the Death of
Yes.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'd seen him around the neighborhood and stuff, and I don't know, I was too shy, or I was like, I don't know, this mainstream stuff sucks shit. Like, I'm not into this,
Oh.
you know.
So-
But he's super good, right? Like, since then, me and him have traded a ton of pages and stuff. And I think
That's
also
super
like just
funny.
shy, right?
Yeah.
But so I was out of ideas of like how to make comics besides, I'd just been making them myself, right? So I went to San Diego. That was kind of my wife is super gracious and super supportive. It was a combination of our honeymoon and
Mm.
like I was like, please, I just want to do this one thing. And she's like, yeah, let's do this thing. I'm sure I'll go to a comic show, right? So me and Alex were waiting in line for a review from some editor. And I didn't even talk to him. Actually, do you guys know who Freddie Williams is?
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
am
Freddie
familiar with
Williams
Freddie,
was also waiting for a review, and I don't think he remembered or registered that. But there's
Yeah.
so 3 people that I know that make comics were in this line, and Alex. We didn't talk. Our spouses interacted and exchanged information, and then a bit later, Alex was like, "Hey, I want to do this book. My wife talked to your wife." Okay, whatever. Like
networking
sure,
at its finest.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
And,
works.
And
Well,
we did this pitch that he wanted to adapt this folktale, and that was a thing that we did, and it was like a jumping off point. And then it did okay. Like we made money, so I feel like that was a victory.
Yeah.
We made
Early
a little bit
on,
of money.
yes. Most
I feel
definitely.
like anytime you make money,
Yeah.
it wasn't paying my rent. I worked like 8 months on spec, and it took like 9 months to finish the book, and we made, I don't know, $1,500 each or something.
Wow.
But it was to the good. You made money, like you said.
But yeah, but we made money, and I was going to make
Yeah,
comics anyways.
incredible.
I'm going to do it anyways, right?
Right.
So then that Walking Dead reminds me of something. Is I might mess up this timeline, so Alex, if he ever hears this, can correct it. We did a pitch for a guy who's in jail, sort of like a Punisher kind of guy, who needs to break out of jail to get home to see his family because there's a zombie apocalypse, right? And this is, and then
You got
Walking
me.
Dead goes to jail. Walking Dead goes to jail. I'm like, fuck. I think Alex even Alex even emailed Robert and said, "Hey." I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever even sent it to Image, but then we did the Sasquatch thing and did it for 3 years or something, and it was, it's kind of a cult following, and it's about stuff I love, and Alex is a great friend. It's the best. It was, I don't know what else to say, but it was wonderful. I don't
That's
think
cool.
in some ways I was good enough to be making comics, but I got to kind of learn on the job, and the book did okay enough to keep doing it. Like we kept getting by, and I got to make 30 issues of comic and just learn every issue, just like do better, do better, do better, do better, do better, do better, do better.
I feel like it's the best way. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Image was super supporting. They're like, hey, if you guys keep, paying for the book and make a little bit of money on the side, just you do you. So
it's a cool concept too for anybody that's not familiar with it. But both of these Seven Sons, the based on the old folktale that you're saying, and I read a review on your work on that, and they were very complimentary of you for it to be something as early on in your career. But proof with all the kind of mythical creatures, the Sasquatches and things in that. I mean, that seems like something that would fit really well today. Like if it was.
Oh yeah.
If it was
like
revival
released
for it,
today.
so.
Yeah.
I think it was like a little bit ahead of its time in terms of just what people are like. Like I feel like everybody now knows what a chupacabra is or a Mothman or whatever, right? Yeah. But in those days, we had like stacks of books too. Like the internet wasn't as comprehensive then. So I have like all these field guides with like these like homemade magazines that people did about Sasquatch and stuff.
That's so cool.
That's pretty cool.
Just
I
was in
ahead
pretty
of
deep.
time.
I mean, that's like because I was like all passion back then. Not to say like it isn't passion now, but it's like if you were into it, you were into it because like you were super,
Yeah.
in love with it, the topic, not just like you could easily stumble and come across it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like
yeah,
you'd have to like comb through used bookstores and stuff, and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Well, there's so much. If you all would have seen the original art stack that Riley had before the show, you would be rushing us along to get to it. But we also this is our chance to talk to Riley about some of this stuff. So this was my first introduction to you without even knowing
Mm.
I was being introduced to Riley. And I remember seeing this print on Felix's website, the one of Matter Red and Deadpool, and I thought this is insane. This is so cool. But the book, reading it, it's been good lord, it's been over a decade, I think, since I
Yeah.
read the first trade for it. But it's such a great concept. And
Thanks.
Tyler's a big Dexter fan, about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
killer for good. So I was like, I want to introduce this book to Tyler just so he can.
Mm.
And unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to send it to him yet. But it was how much fun was it to write a book like this with a anti-hero kind of set up as the main character. I think the guy's name was Fillmore, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a while since I've read it,
Yeah, it's been a while. I
but
think yeah. And
but
it's awesome. I love slashers and all that.
I was gonna say
The
yeah.
like the mask is the thing for me, right? The mask is like it's one of the things I'm still like really like excited about. That mask is I feel like I did a good job, you know?
oh, you did. And Tyler, just to feel you, it's about a killer who's like one of the most vicious crime lords, killers in the town, and then he gets better. I think is the
So
Oh.
whole
yeah,
concept of
he's
it.
like the Joker, right? Like if the Joker
Yeah,
sort of had a turn, and you're still like the setup is like, but did he? I think he,
Y-
I like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
That
did he? You
yeah.
yeah.
know,
I mean that
It's
a
morally
little,
gray,
a little
making
bit like
it.
Mindhunters
Yeah,
too. Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, the morally gray area. I mean, I find that you get some of the most interesting characters. I mean, Breaking Bad is one of my favorite TV shows. Yeah, I
Oh
love
yeah,
Dexter. Again, characters that
Yeah.
there's good and bad. It's not just black and white.
Yeah.
Is super interesting to me. So yeah, I definitely want to check this out. And I mean, even I don't know the character, but yeah, I would agree that the mask and design of the character is super cool. So
Definitely worth
yeah,
checking out. It's
yeah.
yeah, it's but as we move along to get to because all there's a ton of other stuff. I mean, we Lobo's in the title of this episode. It's I feel like we're an hour away from Lobo, but these are just some of the other ones I want to touch on early on from Image runs. Now, when you first started with Image with like them and some of the other proof, uh, did you feel like just a kind of creative flourish, like I'm going to create more and more titles with these different writers that we're seeing here on the screen?
yeah. I just wanted to make stuff. I had just not a ton of responsibilities, and I just wanted to make more and more stuff, and but just any way I could, and anything that was kind of I don't know exciting to me, and interesting. Rebel Blood is kind of like near and dear to me.
Zombies.
Yeah, I'm the sort of it came out of like where I live in Canada. It's like 300,000 people here in Saskatoon, so I think that's like the size of Cincinnati proper. Like there's nothing
Mm.
like once you get out of the town, out of the city, there's like nothing, right? And so it sort of came out of this idea of like, what happens when you're alone for a long time, and if you're out in the woods and something happened, I don't know, like who's gonna
Yeah.
intervene? Who's gonna do anything? There's no one around, right? Like, you know, there's that's just it. You're
Yeah,
just
the
out
way that
there.
would be. Yeah,
Sorry,
and
my computer was dying. I apologize. I had
That's
to
all right.
plug it in there. So
I was just
sorry
kind of
about that,
curious.
guys.
No, because your earlier works, like you were saying, clearly slashers, horror, that kind of stuff, it appeals a lot to you. So, I'm assuming, like Dustin was saying, you chose, to do more of the projects you wanted to do. You weren't worried about like, hey, I want to go, do interiors or covers for this Marvel or this DC. That it was just like, hey, I'm just gonna make books, if something comes along. But like this is the stuff that you're, most interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the time too, um, the way I was making things, I don't mean this so I'm going to say something that's, I don't mean to be too self-deprecating, but I feel like like I had to do things a lot at a slow pace
Mm.
to kind of get where I wanted to be. So to work out whatever I was going to work out, especially technically, technically, um, that it's not technical drawing's not something that like comes naturally. And so some of it was like a workaround with like, making stuff really expressive, but also there's like a balance. So I was making expressive stuff because it was like a little bit of a workaround for some of the technical stuff maybe, but
Yeah.
also I really like scary stuff, and then making something really, splattery and stuff kind of works for that. And I don't know, I was just working through that, I guess.
No, I mean it's an
And
interesting. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
well, I just at that point in time I was like, I love Marvel comics, I love DC comics, but I just didn't think that was in the cards necessarily.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
you're saying, with the rejection letters and stuff is just, but
Yeah.
like you said, you still knew you wanted to make comics. So it's like, just, make them.
Yeah, and I think that as like when I went through college, um, I got sort of more interested in like literary comics. I don't know if that's the right term, like fantagraphic stuff and drawn and quarterly.
Mm,
And there was a period of time when Vertigo was putting out really kind of painterly stuff and like expressive stuff.
yeah.
And I felt like I was like, maybe this is like a home for me, or like a place for me in that sort of capacity. Like, I don't, Kent Williams was like a big deal to me. And Sienkiewicz,
Yeah.
Bill Sienkiewicz, of course.
Yeah.
Really Fagredo stuff. All the people who sort of, I think, come out of this guy named Baron Story. He's an illustrator. So
Mm.
there's sorry if this is too much information, but
No, we
this
love it.
guy
Yeah.
named Baron
This is what we
Story,
love.
I believe, I could have this wrong too. Baron Story, I think, spent some time, or other people spent some time with him, like Sienkiewicz, Dave McKean, um, maybe Dave Mack, I think too.
Yeah.
Like really painterly, scratchy, more editorial leaning stuff. And I was like, well, I can do this, and I can do editorial illustrations. And I was doing magazine covers, and people were responding to that. So I was like, well, that works. And I like scary stuff.
Like a match
I
made.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like pushing the
Perfect.
boundaries in that capacity.
I mean, I like that. I mean, I think there's something freeing, so many artists are trapped within the bubble of, self-containment, of being too afraid to try different things, or, maybe push for the things that they want more. So I think there's something freeing about being able to just say that, just being like, hey, this is the stuff I'm interested in. I'm seeing some other people, let's put it into comics. Cause I mean, that's how it gets pushed, and that's how it gets more accepted,
Yeah,
is the more people
yeah,
that do it, the more people like it, than, than the normal it becomes. So but I like too that you spoke about taking that time. I think that's something, I don't really hear a lot of comic artists talk about. Again, everybody from the outside in, eventually they see you once you reach a certain status, and they go, "Oh man, like your stuff is so good, like you just make it look so easy." But obviously, that time period in between when you started versus then is vastly different for everybody, and some people get there quicker, some people get there shorter. I was also somebody who I found that there were certain things that just took me longer than other artists I knew to get to a point, and I felt, like you said, bad about that. But looking back, it's just again, I think we're all on a different journey and path. So I appreciate hearing that about
yeah.
yourself, like your own, path in the comic
Yes.
books and stuff. So
Well, thanks. But and once in a while there'd be like little victories where something, like the green weight covers. Um, Dave Johnson. Uh, so Dave Johnson had he had a blog. Do you guys remember this? That
No,
it was
I missed
not,
that.
maybe it's kind of controversial, but he would go through the comics every week, and he would say these are good covers, these are bad covers. Then he'd sort of criticize his peers, which,
Oh yeah, that's rough.
right? But he liked one of my covers. I was like, oh, like
Thank
little
gosh.
wins like
Yeah.
that, right?
I made it.
Johnson's like he's glowing, like he's talking up the composition and stuff, and I was like,
Well, yeah, this is our good buddy Scaff. Yeah, has Dustin already got on the commission list? Not yet. Not yet. We're working on it to get there. But no, I mean that's cool. We're all about positivity here. So anytime you hear somebody criticizing, especially when art's so subject, for everybody kind of has their own view of what's good
oh
art and
yeah,
what's bad art. So yeah, so to crush somebody's soul like that, it's kind of hard to listen to. But I'm glad you got a good thumbs up. So that makes me
It is.
feel
I don't
good.
know, it
So,
was
It's nice to get those, like,
oh, love
especially
it.
if you don't have a track you're following, like, I don't know, you go through college and you do stuff, like there's certain things you kind of expect, but I'm assuming with yourself where like there's no real linear path. It's just like, hey, I'm doing these things, I'm hoping I'm doing them right, and so getting that stuff I'm sure helps you, like, all right, cool, I think I'm doing, sounds like I'm on the right path, and I just kind of need to keep going and getting better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And there
speaking of,
was
go on. Sorry, Riley.
there was a couple times that like the path almost like went a different way.
Hmm.
There's like a video game studio in Edmonton. I don't know if you guys play games. The BioWare studio used to be up
Yeah.
there
Oh yeah,
that did Dragon Age and stuff. They had
yeah.
a ton of graduates from Calgary work there. And on two separate occasions, like months apart, I went for interviews there.
Really?
And I blew one of the interviews because
Oh,
they said like what would you change about one of our games? And I was like, there's a lot of talking. I mean, I just want to get to the blowing stuff up. They were just like, man, what are you
yeah.
talking
The
about?
Bioware is like all
Yeah.
about
What are
their
you
like
talking
Yeah.
about? Lie? Why would I
oh,
send you
You
notice?
just see,
Lie.
yeah, you just see him mark your name off the list right in front of you there. So that's rough to.
But
But well,
that was a
it,
different life. And
Tyler
yeah.
works in the video game. That's what Tyler does for a living.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
works in
a
video games.
3D game artist. So it's funny how many, we've had a handful of comic artists who, had to start in video games, Mel Milton, Brett Bean. Like it's so interesting, Derek
yeah,
Loff, and it's so interesting hearing about artists who had a hand in video games, but then veered off and then went into comics. Cause it's funny because when I was a kid, I wanted to do comics, but having a doctor for a father it was like, no, you're not going to make money. So it was like, all right, it steered me into video games. So it's kind of the opposite. But I mean, it makes sense. Art. There's a lot of like overlap and stuff. But it's just so interesting, to hear those backgrounds. But like you said, it could have been completely different if things worked out and would have gone to Bioware. So
yeah.
We,
I've
we,
done some freelance stuff for like a little indie games and stuff, and
yeah,
like I love it.
yeah,
I love it. I don't know if I would have loved like designing tiles or crates or
mm.
stuff like that, But it would be,
meticulous.
it's like
Yes.
it would have been. I don't know. Maybe I would.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a
I think
different universe, right?
and because I don't want to boil it down because like you can simplify it and oversimplify it, but I really think it kind of comes down to and like I feel like with comic people it's more about like characters, not that like environments are a big thing, but like characters and people and stuff versus like video games is more environments because I'm an environment guy, so it's like I love
Yeah.
like environments and buildings and props and all that stuff. So it's like I love comics, but I'm like I don't know if I'd be really into comics. I'm just not as great with humans, but I'm like inanimate objects. I just
Yeah.
something about it clicks for me better. So, but again, it's an oversimplification of it. But it seems kind of more of like a push and pull for one or the other almost. Not that again, there's great character
Yeah.
work in video games too. So not to discount it.
Yeah. No,
So
I feel you. I think there's. Yeah, I think it's some of it's like what you gravitate to. Like Daniel Warren Johnson can draw any vehicle
mm,
in any space and whatever.
yeah,
Man, how does he do that? How does he do that?
yeah,
But even beyond that, I have some friends who are industrial designers and stuff, and like they kill cars, they do cars, and I'm like, oh, well, I would just do comics about cars if I could do that. Like
yeah. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always funny, like the certain things like cars, yeah, where it's like people have their hacks where it's like, all right, if I just like this suffices, but yeah, then you got like you said, some that are just like
Yes.
I don't know what it is,
Scotty,
just clicks, yeah.
when Scotty was doing his word prompts and he came up with cars, he drew a picture of himself saying, "I hate drawing cars," was what he did there. So,
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody kind of has their own thing that they probably just despise getting into. But Tyler loves lamps. He loves designing lamps. That's his main thing. Real quick before we get on to the next thing, I just want to show this is one of the books that's part of the giveaway, volume 1 of The Moon is Following Us. So for everybody that's seeing us, make sure to put hashtag Rossmo in the chat. The other book is the Harley Quinn Volume 1. It has not arrived yet, but you'll get both of those. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow. But this is I'm not going to lie, Riley. I ended up flipping through this and reading it last night. So I had read some of the singles, but it had been a while. But I forgot how good this was. This is incredible. So this
Oh,
is
thanks.
what is up for the giveaway tonight.
Yeah.
And why I brought that up now is because
Such
the
a
next
good
thing,
prize, yeah.
yeah, Harley Quinn Volume 1 is the other trade book that we're going to be giving away during the show tonight. So you go from the indie titles and there's so much work that you did in between all the books that we showed, the
Yeah.
cover work books, Constantine. Me and you talked a little bit about Constantine and messaging, but Harley Quinn was another one that I saw that, Felix really pushed it whenever your art went up for this. And I enjoyed seeing the art drop for this every time Felix released it because it was just insane. It was incredible the
Oh,
story that you
thanks.
did, and you did approximately, I'd say, 3 arcs on this story.
Yeah.
How much fun was it to write a character like Harley that's as well established as she is, but to put your own flair on it, to put your own,
Yeah.
pizzazz with
It was amazing. It was so good. Yeah. It, there was a lot of leeway and a lot of space. Um, like the art, I feel like they just let me go. Like DC
It
That's
was
awesome.
was
really really
wild.
great about it.
Yeah.
Both the editors that we worked with were pretty good. If like there's some layouts in there that are daring. I mean, kind of daring. I feel like I
Yeah.
looked through this the other day and I was like, wow, that was ambitious of me. This wild, you know. And Stephanie is super collaborative, really open to just whatever. In one of the issues there's a bit with a train that trains are really hard to drive. Oh, hey Brett. Um, yeah, there's a sequence with the train. That's my favorite thing. And on all the books, there's a bit with the train. That's my favorite. I think it's maybe in issue 8 or something.
Oh,
Really?
that's awesome.
Was that the thing?
Well,
It was like a challenging, to draw the train, or just being able to do the idea that you had with it, or
But there's like a character in peril on a train, and the train has dynamite in it, and
Mm.
then Harley's talking about like the trolley problem because the train goes into Gotham, and she can only do one thing, and then she uses Emmanuel Kant, his last name. She uses this as an expletive, and I was like, "Whoa, we're doing this! This is like a
oh
lot,
wow.
right?"
That's
Yeah.
And
fantastic.
this is
Yeah.
all happening like in 3 pages,
Yeah.
and there's a train. There's like I for whatever reason in my mind I don't think it was in the script, but it's like a steam engine. It's like 100-year-old steam engine, which I don't know why that's happening. It's
Yeah.
like coal fired, and a bridge blows up, and I don't know. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
just had fun. Yeah, exactly. Just had fun with it. It sounds like so.
Yeah.
Here,
And
I'm gonna.
the characters are very Looney Tunes. Like in retrospect, because I just recently looked at this because one of my kids was like, "Hey, you drew Harley?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we're flipping through it. Well, this is crazy. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Now this is one I get because we'll get into it, but yeah, my first experience was The Moon is Following Us. So there's stories that I've got to go back to and read now to yeah, that's awesome.
There's in there. See, there's the trolley problem right there with the
I
bomb
love
and the
that.
train
Yeah,
and the
that's
Oh,
great.
that's
diagram.
great.
Yeah.
I missed it. It's so good. Do you use screen tones? That's a big
Yeah.
favorite of the.
Yeah.
We love zip tones and screen tones on here. That's a.
Yeah, Dustin's a huge zippy guy, so he loves some zips.
It's the best, right?
It is. It just
It's
adds a
It
different
really
dimension
makes
to
the
the art.
original art. It makes
Yeah.
it feel really robust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Riley,
It,
you
it,
are
it
you
adds a
are
lot. Yeah.
you are going up the list of my favorite artists as we speak. Just for
Thanks.
screen tones is great. Yeah, but yeah, this image here just it's so good. That's so good, man.
I feel like Harley, like you're saying, like the cartoon, slap that. I feel like that stuff works best for, especially with this character like Harley, and again, like I like it when she's a little bit more wild, a little bit more, out there rather than, I guess, realistic or grounded, if you will. Again,
Yeah.
I like reading comics that are just kind of fun and silly and don't take themselves seriously. Again, it's one of the things I love about Absolute Batman because it's just like comics being comics. It's not contained by any rules, imaginary that we've set up. So
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, we touched on proof a little bit. One that I meant to add that I didn't get time to add to the slides was Cowboy Ninja.
yeah,
I mean, that was I'm glad that Ryan brought that up there, but that's another big milestone I'd say for your career, Riley. That I apologize for not
Definitely.
mentioning it on here, but
That was an ambitious book. It was fun. It was a great. It's a whole other thing. We could talk about it some other time.
okay,
It's good. It was really
Yeah,
good. It was really challenging, really good, and
yeah.
it did everything for it. Like it was. I don't know. I was learning on the job. I was using photos. Like I just
Mm.
went for it. There's photos. There's screen tones. There's a limited palette. There's paint on it. It's just a period of my life that I just like everything at once. This is what we're doing, everything, just to see what worked out.
Yeah. That's got to be
Yeah.
so fun. And I'm curious too, because you went to school obviously for art, like you were doing art in college and stuff. Like, did you find yourself, because again, like you said, not having access to the internet, and it was more so books. Were there books you were relying on, or was it more so just picking up comics, reading stuff, and being inspired, or just kind of like other stuff entirely, like maybe a different industry, and you were just like, hey, I'm going to bring this into comics and see if it works, kind of a deal, kind of like we were saying with your posters.
Well, so like a benefit of like going to the art college and then being so close to the art college, and the department I was in is visual communications, but it was, illustrators and designers.
Yeah.
But a lot of the illustrators, like there's a whole gamut of people doing hyper realistic stuff for like fish for the government. Like one of my best instructors did hyper realistic fish for like Canada Game or whatever, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And then another guy, this guy named Rick Seelock, was doing illustrations that were like this thick because there was so much paint and collage and whatever on them, and it was like everything in between. And at the time, the college was maybe not super into sequential storytelling.
Yeah.
But I was taking all that stuff anyways and just being like, well, this is what I'm gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And because there's like art history, but then there's also painters and stuff around, and you'd be like, well, I see somebody's a painter doing this thing. Like, sure, I'll put that in a comic. Why not? Why can't I put a photo in here? Like a literal, just like a photo, like cut a photo out and
It's
stick
telling
it
me
in.
no. Yeah.
Right? It's not photo traced with a filter or anything. I just
slapped it in. That's awesome.
Let's go. Ryan had a question for you about the Cowboy Ninja Viking. He said, did you get to help pick or build any of the personalities?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
part of the fun.
AJ and I went back and forth a bunch. And I just talked to him yesterday. Still, most of the collaborators I've worked with, I still talk to, and it's just great. He's a great guy. AJ is a screenwriter. He made some movies and written some TV and stuff. And his levels, like his energy level is up here. So then the book energy level kind of gets up there too, right? You're like,
it's infectious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the ideas are like, so then I'm like, I'm making the pages like that too.
So, but it's wild because I saw that was actually optioned by Disney. It eventually I think got shelved, but I remember one of the things I'd read about it a couple of days ago was that it was kind of a surprise that how it was optioned by Disney due to the context of it, the material of it. But it was kind of very complimentary of how good the book was that Disney did want to do it. So. Yeah, you don't take compliments very well, Riley.
I mean, it's an art. It's
good. Thank you very much.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you and Riley, bless your heart. We are so thankful you're on here, and Riley, I think he's wanting to get to the favorite things thing, but we do want to give you a lot of praise here tonight. So
thank you, I appreciate that.
You can take it or leave it. You don't have to.
Riley's like, I'll never be back on here again. But Brett Bean's another one that I was telling you about all the compliments you're getting from fellow artists. But I was talking about how good of a guy you are. But this cover, I remember we were talking about this cover when Brett came on back in February, some of the releases, and just how great of a concept the foot coming down on.
He was annoyed. He was like, man, I should have thought about this one. Like when we pulled it up, he was like, I can't believe I didn't think about this one. Yeah, this was definitely one of my favorites. I love the axe sticking out of the toenail, slightly covering the title. It's just such a fun.
The axe is the PSW stones.
Such a great cover.
And, it is really good. And what's crazy about this is because now I guess some of the artists that are coming on now have a little bit more of a concept of what dork is and what it's about.
Yeah.
From those it was just like draw this character. This is the character. This is the world I'm building. And then it was kind of up to you to watch how you wanted to design it. So how did you come up with the idea of the foot coming down like that?
Just like you said, I'm like, there's a guy, dorks here. I need some context or like what, he's half dwarf. So, maybe we can accentuate. He feels kind of like vulnerable to me, I think, I can't remember if Brett showed me the first issue or what, but he always feels sort of like a sweetheart, like dork's like a sweetheart. So
true. Yeah.
That's a very good characterization.
I like that. It's a good one word summary.
Yeah, and then he does have that. Reading the books that have came out, I think issue 7 dropped for that today, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it
he
came out
does have
today.
he does have a switch that gets flipped where can go berserker.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, for the most time, you're right, he is in that. And this cover caught my eye. And granted, these are going to be more current covers, and you did so many cover art. But
Yeah.
like Ryan was saying there, the cape and the snow and the birds, it really stood out as I was scrolling through trying to pick out which covers to put in here. But so just great concept for that
Colors
absolute
are
Superman.
gorgeous. Yeah, love the sweep of the cape.
I do when I do covers. I try to. I think this is a thing from an editorial background, uh, and maybe it's what I'm good at. I feel like, but there's people that are much better than me at drawing like awesome figures. Like I'm good
Mm,
for. I'm gonna name drop. I'm good friends with Ryan Stegman, and
mm,
he can draw any character in the world doing
yeah,
whatever, and every muscle is just right there. And I can't do that. That's not,
nails it.
that's
Yeah,
not. But what I feel like I have to then like bring to it is like what's the sort of like the editorial concept or the thing that's not on the surface, right?
Yeah,
And the cape's a thing, right? I mean, what else? His cape in the absolute too. The cape is that's the special thing, the nano cape or whatever it's made out of.
right.
well,
It's
and I love
it's
it too. I mean,
incredible.
that's what lends itself to every artist being unique. Again, those small differences of approachability. Approaching a different way than somebody else. I mean, and it creates covers again. It's like Superman has had so many covers throughout the years. I mean, that's got to be another thing too. I'm sure you have in mind where it's like, all right, how do I do
Yeah.
Superman
Make
different
it
than
different.
anybody else has done it?
Right.
So, again, to do it the way you did. I mean, the cape making the S. I mean, it's just like it's just things where it's like, man, it's such a great cover idea. I mean, I love that, like thinking more of it, I guess, compositionally rather than just again focusing on just the character. And I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, again, that's why I love the dork. I mean, again, it feels so grounded having like the entire background in there and this world. It's like, man, it's like your first look at what this comic is, and it gives immediately the idea of like, okay, this is like a super fantastical world, and I can't wait to dig more into it. So
Yeah, maybe I guess maybe a thing that I try and do is have like whatever the images suggest, either more conceptually or more like of the greater world. Like with the dork one, it suggests
mm,
there's the giant foot suggests like well they're giants then, right?
yeah,
Right.
Or he's
Right.
tiny or something, but it suggests like
Yeah.
something more
yeah,
than
true,
than
yeah,
just the character
Yeah.
being there.
That's awesome. I will drop because we haven't mentioned this yet. We've mentioned Felix a couple of times, but for any of the art, if anybody's interested in purchasing any of the art, we'll promote this a little bit later on. But make sure and check out Felix's website,
yeah.
felixcomicart.com, and
We
check
got
out
the QR
Riley's art
code
on
there. You
there.
can scan that, and it'll take you immediately to it. So
Yeah, and even if you're not
Sweet.
looking to buy, it's worth going there and looking, and you'll probably
there's
talk yourself into buying something. But
there's
It's
tons of
it's
stuff. Man.
it's a lovely archive, isn't it? Just to
it
Yeah,
be
is.
like, let's
It's for real.
I don't know, just look at mark making for somebody's things from a long time ago, or what like how does Paul Pope use a brush? Oh, go look at
Yeah,
a thing that's whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
It's a
it is.
nice
It's one of the
library.
best things about Felix's site is like everything stays on there. Like there's just so much history, comic history, artist history that,
Yeah.
like you said, you can just get lost in. Even if like you're not buying pieces, it's
Hmm.
all there available to look at up close, which is really cool. So
Yeah, and use your search function for a dollar sign, and you'll see which ones are available. Because I know some people like I want to go straight to the ones that are
oh, is that you
available.
just put in the
That's what
money
I do.
symbol and it'll
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
and it'll
know
go
that.
straight. Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Uh,
just I just thought of that yesterday. So I've been
Oh
looking at
really?
it's
Felix's
fun. I
site
like
for
it.
years,
Yeah,
but yeah, because Riley because I was looking at the moon is following us art, and
yeah.
I thought, oh, there's so much of this sold, and I did the little money sign. I was like, oh, there's one available. There's one available. So I started making a
Yeah.
list of potentials. So it works. It works. Tried and true. So. And this is another one that dropped today. Battle Beast, it was a 1 in 25 ratio variant. So I get to do a cover for Otley's, hit there with Image. Uh, I know that Tyler is a big Invincible and Battle
Yeah.
Beast fan. So I wanted to make sure to include this cover in there for him.
No, I love it. Yeah, like funny enough, I recently picked up his first appearance finally. A big
Nice.
issue to grab, but yeah, I mean it's just again I love being able to see different artist interpretations, and then again I love all the Battle Beast covers. I love how graphic and intense they are, but I love about yours is the subtlety. Again, just like again, like the animalistic approach of like the lion in the bushes. It's like you can kind of see him, but you kind of can't. Almost like the predator approach. So again, I just and I love the colors. It's more cool. Like everything's been like red and saturated, which again I love, but I love the more cool tones you've got in this one too. So
Well, that you can't tell. I just got comps of this too. You can't tell on here, but
Here you go.
which is cool. I think it's on this one. I did two Battle Beast covers. I think the other one came out. It was like a third printing or something.
Okay.
I forget which one it was on, but on one of them, instead of using like screen tones or anything for all the gray,
Yeah.
and maybe some of the blacks too, I painted it all with gouache.
Oh, okay.
And so then
Nice.
instead of having
Yeah.
like a black on everything, there's a mid-tone, and then I could grab the mid-tone. And yeah, I mean, I'll just say that the original art's kind of unique because it's I don't I think Felix has it. I don't think we
Oh, that's
Felix put it
awesome.
up yet.
I
Yeah.
would love to see it up close. I mean, I love that mixed, like you
Yeah.
said, that mixed media, or just doing something different where it's like, yeah, it makes the original artwork unique rather than like you said, just straight blacks or X's for where they should fill in blacks, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's super cool. I'll definitely be looking out for that one to be posted on the website. So
Yeah, and the speed lines for Flash too coming out where he's
oh
coming
yeah.
like right at you. That one's great as well, Riley. So
Nice.
Well, like everybody
That one was
behind
a
it,
battle.
yeah.
That Flash one was a battle.
Oh,
That was
sorry.
a challenge.
My bad.
That one.
Was it
Oh,
the
well.
characters or just like getting like the composition or
Well, you should ask. This should be a question. You should ask people about team covers, how they feel about team covers, because
Uh.
so like there's so many moving pieces, right? And so you want to highlight the characters, but I feel like when you're doing a variant, it's you're like here's the iconic shot, and then sometimes we're doing them so far in advance you don't have stories like specifics. So you're like, we know these characters are going to be in it, so you're like, okay, I have to have Flash and then a bunch of the Justice League, but I don't know what they're doing yet.
yeah.
So I have to find some way that puts
Yeah.
them all together that then speaks to the main character, So I don't know. And
That's
they can't just
it's
be
interesting.
standing there, right?
Do you ever find that like it changes, or is it just one of those things where again you have to do this stuff so early on that it's just like you just kind of have to work with it and hope for the best kind of a deal, and if they accept it, then cool.
I don't know. I don't think everyone does this. I know some people do, but I usually try and have like a few options. So if one is like a total miss, I mean, you
Yeah.
probably do this in video games, right? Do like a few
Mhm.
comps and then
Yeah,
pick
and
one
send
out.
it off. Yeah,
And then the more specific sometimes makes it a bit easier, but yeah, just have a couple options. And but team books, how all the figures overlap is always like a real challenge.
yeah.
But
It's just one of those
someone-
things that I don't think a lot of people think about. Sorry, go ahead, Dustin.
No. I was just gonna say. I thought you were the Shogun Warriors homage, right? Is that did you have that in mind?
I don't know. No, I don't. I
Okay,
don't know
okay.
what that looks like. I should look it up.
I tried to Google it, and I wasn't familiar with it either. But I wanted to. That's even better then.
That's cool,
Ryan
yeah.
asked a real quick question before we get to our last variant covers and jump into some of the more recent titles. But do you have a favorite commission or piece that you've worked on? Something that you're like excited to draw, maybe fresh to you? Or...
Well, lately I've been like I'm just so busy making pages and doing covers. So I did a show in Vancouver recently, and I've just been doing like 9x12 paintings. And I think Felix has some on his site, and it's like 9x12 paintings, so they're kind of busts. And I love painting. I'm not the best, but I like doing it, and they're kind of cool, and that's really exciting to me.
That's awesome. Yeah,
But
No,
I don't know
definitely
if there's a
have to
particular
look those
character.
up.
Yeah. No, I don't, I don't have this like a particular character. The only time I get sort of hung up on like doing a painting at a show is if it's somebody like Wonder Woman. It's just a bust and it's Wonder Woman. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. She has to be really pretty, and I
Yeah.
can't like hack out like cheekbone. Like I can't like do too like man thing. No problem. Or Frankenstein, you bet, right?
Yeah.
But like Kitty Pryde, just a bust. I'm like,
Well, that's one of the things about commissioning artists too. You've got to know kind of what their wheelhouse is and what they like to draw. Like certain artists, if you go up and ask for something that you know that they're not as comfortable drawing with, you got to kind of expect this may not be the results. And
But
yeah,
yes,
but
I love that about commissions. That when you get a commission, it's a gamble. It's
it
Yeah.
really
it can
is. It
go,
really is.
and it's super exciting. Like either way, it's super exciting when you get a commission. Like maybe this was a good pick. Ooh, I don't know.
It's
Let's
roll
see,
the
right?
dice. See what we got.
Well,
So
it's interesting too because it's like it's something I've asked guests occasionally because it's one of those things where it's like I find myself wanting characters that aren't mainstream or more so recently I've been asking for video game characters. Darksiders is my favorite game series of
Right.
all time from Joe Bad, and so I'll be like,
Mhm.
hey, would you mind drawing
He
this?
loves it.
And I've got it from Wayshack, one from Mateo Scalera, and it's like they're all like, what is this? I don't know what this is. So I'm like,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
here's some images. It's Joe Mad, so I'm like, it's kind of comic-y, related, but it's fun to get that. I don't know. Again, I just want to see those characters in that style, but it's also that thing where, like you were saying, Dustin. Hopefully, it's not too
Yeah.
much out of their wheelhouse or too much where it's like, hey, hopefully, it's not annoying to get asked, to draw something maybe that isn't,
But like Ryan says here, sometimes artists have that same issue with getting asked to draw
true. Yeah,
Batman
the
over and
same
over again.
character.
So
Yeah.
it kind of adds some variety, spice of life to the thing. John, I think John was referencing this Absolute Batman, which is
Yeah, for the
I
Shogun
think,
Warriors homage. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm flash forward to this slide, and we went back. So I apologize to John for mixing it up. But yeah, if you could zoom in on this Batman, for anybody who hasn't seen this Arc M cover for Absolute Batman, just the details that you put in the suit are just incredible. I think this one, the image of this one's still up on Felix's site. I recommend everybody going and checking that out. But uh, Absolute Batman is like one of the hugest titles out right now. It's there's no escaping
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean to participate and to draw a cover like this for a title such as that, uh, I love the X. The X is my favorite part of Absolute
That's
Batman.
it.
So I'm glad I'm glad
It
that you
is
got a
a
good
it is a
good
pretty
axe on
dope
there.
axe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this was a great cover, Riley, and
I was
much
gonna
like the
say,
Transform.
yeah, just
Go on.
again, yeah, such a unique take. Again, I've not even just Absolute Batman. I've just not really seen one where like panels themselves or like the scenes themselves are drawn into the character, which works so well with
Creative.
Absolute Batman because he's such a big, larger than life character. But it's such an interesting take. Again, I love that. I love that. That's what makes art so fun is like everybody's influences, impact their work and makes a difference. So yeah, such a cool and unique cover just in general, not even just, Batman. So
Thanks. I'm fortunate enough that I did I think I did a variant for number 3 or 4 too
oh,
of
okay.
Absolute Batman. But it was before we had much runway. Like what it was. There's only 2 issues or whatever of comic, right?
Right.
So it was nice to be able to do another cover after having read a significant amount of it and be like, oh, okay, like now I can really like lean into like how big he is and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's my
Mammoth.
takeaway. The thing that's sort of shocking if you show it to somebody who hasn't been reading this, they're like, he's huge, like he's
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
He's a beefy. I mean, again, it's one of my favorite takes on Batman. It's such a silly thing how like the human body size, just making it a little bit bigger, or I guess a decent bit bigger than a
Yeah.
normal human.
Yeah.
But
What?
again, it's that I don't know, just again, it feels like playability. Just feels like a playground of playing with ideas, kind of like yourself with like just slapping it. It's like nobody's gonna who's gonna tell you no. Just make them bigger. Like it doesn't matter. Just try it out and see if it works. And yeah, everybody's loving it so far. So.
Yeah. I think Tyler, you referred to him as Wide Boy. Is that Wide Boy Batman?
I mean,
Is that
probably,
right?
yeah. That's
Yeah. That's
Kyle and
just
Wide
when
Boy.
we,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
when we first saw him, it was just because he's so larger than life. So yeah, this is a
Nice.
great
he's thick with
representation.
2 C's, that's for sure. So
That's right. Well, so, Brian had mentioned his favorite cover was the second print of The Moon is Following Us, the fight scene on the staff. So I figured that'd be a
that's
good
a good one. Yeah,
segue to get into The Moon is Following Us and some of the OA. Like we said, the has some of the OA, but the OA for issue 1 sold complete. And some of the questions I wanted to ask you about, Riley, with this was working with Daniel on this project and doing some of the art on the same page. And your locations, you're in Canada.
Yeah.
And Dan, were you all mailing art back and forth to each
Yeah.
other? Or did you? Okay, that's
Really?
incredible.
We're
That is
doing it like the old
incredible.
days.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, wow.
I was lucky enough too that we uh in that time period too, I got to hang out a couple times. Like I went to his house and we just sat together and drew. It's the best. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's one of the like funnest things is to hang out in real life with one of your friends that makes stuff and just draw. But we're drawing and we're talking about it. We were just kind of drawing whatever we wanted. You know, his kids would run by around the table and stuff, and I don't know. That's as good as it gets to me. But yeah, he,
Yeah.
No,
he insisted. I was like, we can just do it digitally. We don't have to ship the stuff back and forth. But he's like, no, it's like the truest, like purest form of this is where we're either doing paste ups or drawing on the same boards. And most of it's drawn on the same board.
That's so
oh,
cool. It's
yeah.
such an interesting. Go ahead, Dustin.
No, no. I had read that somewhere, and that was fascinating.
Yeah,
I thought,
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that you. Cause it's it's interesting because like going back and rereading this series, you can kind of see that some of those pages are one to one, and then some of them, yeah, the transition between the two of you. So, did you find that challenging? Because it's one thing for a different comic artist to suddenly come into a book and like kind of take over the style and stuff, but to really share and then in reading just how much Daniel Warren Johnson had such good things to say about you, it seems like you said that friendship is really deep in there and connected. So I'm sure being a personal book like this, that's got to be a little bit easier to handle that kind of back and forth.
Yeah, and we both have little kids,
Yeah.
and I mean we talk all the time, anyways. I don't know. I'm not that precious about
Yeah.
my art, and you know maybe sometimes it gets rolled over by a chair, and you know,
that's great.
Daniel can
Yeah.
be like that a bit too. It's like about doing the thing and as the drawing sort of evolves as an artifact. Like I have it for a bit, he has it for a bit. It went through the mail, went across the continent, got ran over by a chair. Might have some coffee on it. Maybe there's drawings on the back. And it's kind of magical, right? Like there's
Yeah.
no
Oh,
reason
it
we
is.
couldn't do it digitally, but it's pretty unique. Like it's super unique. There's
Yeah.
there's a few examples I can think of that other people have collaborated like that before, but not recently.
Like less than, yeah, like really only two hands you can count that kind of stuff. It just, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
really happen, especially in today's world. But I mean, like you said, I mean, it clearly shows through the pages itself. It clearly shows through the comic, and again, being such a personal story between the two of you and having kids, like it makes sense that that bleeds into the art, into the final product itself. So
Yeah.
but yeah, this was my introduction. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But there's some parts too in that the most intimidating parts are parts where uh I have to we plan like planning around each other was sometimes hard because it's
Yeah.
even switching off panels is I mean switching off panels is kind of okay because I was drawing the sort of bulk of it, so I just leave the space for him. But there's a few pages where he pasted stuff onto
Mm.
like my existing
Mm,
art. So if you have the original, you can look under and see the different versions of Penny. Because I
That's
was like,
so
well, I'm just
cool.
gonna draw it through because I don't know how to leave like the precise space for him. But also um, because I mean the nature of our relationship and just that the work being as good as it has to work. If there was like a spot that Daniel's, I think it's in the first issue actually. There's this moment where Duncan has a knife and they like sneaks up behind a guy and stabs him with a knife.
Yeah.
I think Daniel just drew on the page because he's like, it doesn't make sense. Why would he has to stab him? And I'm like, but where's the knife coming from? He can't just stab him.
yes.
We didn't show that there was a knife. He doesn't
Oh,
have a knife.
I know who owns that page. So Ryan is. That's awesome. Uh,
And Daniel's like, no, he's just gonna have a knife. So, anyways, and then so I'm pretty sure I don't know if he did it digitally or not. I can't. I think he might have just actually drawn on the board, but
Mm.
I don't know.
that's
There's a
pretty
couple
awesome.
instances like that though that you know some people would just not be okay with somebody else's drawing on their thing. And I don't care. I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
with your art, I mean, you said that you're not as precious with your art. Is there any pages or covers that you've drawn and you're like, well, I want to keep this. I'm not going to, sell it. I'm not going to give it, pass it away. Is there anything that you've drawn that you're like so proud of? It's like, all right, this is going to the grave with me. This is not leaving the collection.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
because
you've
I
drawn some great
sometimes
stuff too, so it's incredible.
sometimes I think the only time it's significant is that I should probably keep a piece or two for my kids.
I was just gonna ask
Uh,
if your
Yeah.
kids maybe want, especially like as you were bringing up earlier, like being into Harley Quinn and that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Uh, so my kid, I don't. This is my kids. Well, one of them's very little, so he just likes looking at anything superheroes he thinks is cool. And my daughter really likes like graphic novels,
Mm.
like she loves YA stuff. But she's kind of like, hey, you drew Batman a good thing, but that's cool, Dad. It's cool that you
Good for
draw
you.
stuff for a living. That's really
Yes.
cool. But she's like, oh, but Dork's a pretty good comic. I'm like, it is a pretty good comic. She's like, I like Dork. That's a good comic to read. I'm like, you're right. It is a good comic to read.
it's always so
Man.
funny. That seems to be like the consensus where it's like people who have kids who are in the industry, and it's just like their kids are like, yeah, whatever. My dad, you would think my dad's big. That's fine. I think he's just a big dork or whatever, drawing superheroes. So yeah, it's funny to always hear that with other people. So
Yeah, well, that's cool, Riley. You're not slowing down anytime soon. So if they do want to start getting some of your
So
art, yeah, you'll have to go around.
yeah, my daughter she really liked the movies following us because it's pretty intense as there's parts like we'd read it together. I'm like, it's pretty intense. And she's like,
Yeah.
okay. And I tell her, and she get like, there's a couple times she got, teary eyed, which I feel like means we're doing the right thing.
Oh,
We're doing a good job.
yeah.
So there's that. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I have to think about that. Something like that was sort of meaningful. And maybe I should have kept a page or something of that, but I don't know. Whatever.
Well,
It was fine.
yeah. Well, the next project we'll talk about here in a minute. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll grab one from that. So
Yeah.
now, and this is a special, yeah. I mean, this was, like I said, this is where I first got into your artwork without really realizing, I was, even Daniel Morton Johnson was still new to me really at that time too. So I just picked it up and I was like, man, this comic is just fantastic. Like artwork and story and everything handed together is just such a beautiful story. And I like that it's compact. It's 10 issues. You can get both trades right now, and that's the complete story. And I know, yeah. Spoilers for anybody, but
Spoiler. It hurts me too.
I loved reading that in the letters, like having just reread the
Yeah.
series again, like having read that in the letters column at the end. It was like, yeah, that moment really sucked for us too. So don't worry. And again, it's such a unique. I love that. I don't know. It's that imagination that like, the toys come to life and have their own characters. And that was something that was interesting, reading about too. And something Dustin asked earlier about that, like you had, again, a lot of control over a lot of the character design and personalities, it seemed like, in this story. And there's so many characters, that process, like, was it just kind of, you and DWJ going back and forth, or was it you just kind of like penciling, sketching stuff out, throwing ideas out there, seeing what stuck?
It seems like our system is, we talk about it, and then I just start like dumping stuff out, like when I just send Daniel like designs and designs and designs and designs and designs, and most of it is just mostly that's it, and then there'll be like one character that Daniel's like, but this one, what's that guy's name? Jebediah?
Oh,
Is that his
yeah.
name? Yeah,
Mhm.
Daniel's like, he has to look like this. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
There's other versions, but he's like, this guy, this is this guy. But like the what's his name? Pigface?
Yeah, Pigface, yeah.
Pigface was just gonna be like the arms dealer from Resident Evil 4.
Really?
Like he just has a cape, right? Isn't that what it's right? From Resident Evil? Yeah, that's just it. Just that. And I don't know. I was like, what about this instead? I don't know. Totally unrelated. Like,
Well,
But it's like,
that
you know, the
one,
nature of it. Is so
Yeah,
good
I
in
think
that
it's the
book.
nature. Yeah, the kind like it works so well because again, it's all about being in a dreamscape. So it's again, there's no real like you can confine, but yeah, I love that like just something new everywhere you look. So
and some of the things for people that want to look, there's actually some concept art, some prelims that you did for some of the
Hmm.
character development on Felix's site.
Oh
That
yeah.
art's a long sold out, but between that, I did notice the variant covers that you and Daniel both just like a colored sketch on
Yeah.
that were sold together, limited, I think, to 200 runs. Those are also pretty incredible for anybody that wants to go look and check them out, but they're all sold out. You won't be able to buy them, but they're still really cool that you all collaborated on the sketch cover as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like I said, that's just fun. You sit around and just draw. It's awesome.
yeah.
but we had Lobo in our title, so we're an hour into it. And right, Riley, we didn't tell you this before the show, but if at any point in time you need to go, just let us know.
To tap
For
out,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Lobo 6, we really thought Lobo 6 was coming out today, and whenever we booked you a while back, and whether it was moved or a mistake, uh, Jorge Corona and Scotty's run on Lobo, the new DC All In book. It seems like every third episode or so, there's going to be a guest artist. And we had Nicoletta on issue 3, and Riley, you come in here for issue 6. Which before we get into the book itself, I pulled some of these from Scotty's work on I Hate Fairyland. These were from Felix's website as well.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
both love Gert, so drawing Gert's
Best,
another
right?
character that's as wild. Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
wild. But Gert and Hellboy there, that was really cool. But the Gert with the dragon, these are both sold on Felix's website as well. But
Yeah,
they're
those are
still cool
old.
to go check. Yeah,
Yeah, that
still
girl with the
fun.
dragon is I love that, especially again just like the little thumbnail stuff on the sides, just the thought process before getting that like final middle sketch. I mean, it's just such a cool piece.
So I had asked too, Scotty, this is your all's first collaboration together. So and I believe this is your first time actually working together with his script on Lobo 6.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
So
I've known
how
Scotty for
much?
ages, so
Well, that's why he said you were an old friend. But how much fun
yeah.
is it to work with someone that have already have a relationship with, but you just kind of get
Oh,
to develop that even more?
it's the best. Yeah. I don't know how much he told you about it, but I think it's okay to talk, but we kicked around years ago of doing a Lobo. Did he tell you this?
Oh, he didn't, but I'll act like he did.
Edge of the
No,
seat, yeah.
yeah. I
But
mean, we talked about doing something a long time ago, a Lobo book a long time ago, and so it's kind of nice to come full circle and
That's so
end up
cool.
here. Yeah.
yeah, but
That's gotta
it's
be
I guess
super
it's no
fun.
secret. Yeah, Scotty's love of Lobo, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your style for it too, as Jorge's doing an incredible job. From the art that we've seen for you two, I mean, you picked right up with it. It's like the perfect style for
Oh,
Lobo. So,
thanks.
and the character you're getting to draw like this brand new character that
But to say this issue seems like just such like right up your alley, like you said, of like the creatures and kind of horror
Yeah.
type stuff. I mean, I can't wait to get into this issue.
I mean, Scotty just basically, I feel like he just was like, this is all the stuff that I want to see you draw. It was like a big commission for him, It was like,
True.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's so
now.
great.
I never really thought about it, but I mean, it seems like that is like for writers, writing it. It's like, hey, I want to get somebody. I want to pitch this to somebody who this is their ballpark, this is their wheelhouse, what they love. So that's
But
also that's funny. Yeah.
I love that stuff is all seeded. Like I like that what they're doing on the run. It's novel, but
Yeah.
it still is all pointing back to the Simon Beasley stuff and Stephen Grant
Right.
stuff, like and Keith Giffen. It's all like just little crumbs from there are just being expanded into like a new thing and explored. It's so fun. Like what else could you
Yeah.
want from a Lobo book? It's as good as it gets.
No,
Yeah.
I
you're
mean, as
great
you
in
guys
ear to
know,
ear
right?
the whole
Like
book. Yeah,
clearly
for
you
real.
agree. It's
Well,
the
it's
best.
awesome too because again, like it's my first introduction to the character. Like I never read anything previously Lobo. I love Scotty's work though, so of course I was like, and Jorge especially. So I was like, man, this is awesome. Cool, it'd be cool to dive into this. So it's like you said, it's cool to be able to appeal to people like myself. But yeah, I hope that also appeals to people who have been in a Lobo, who've read the books, who've read Simon,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
looked at our work, and they're like, yeah, this is what we want. Is this exactly like Lobo as it should be, kind of way. So
Yeah, I can gush about the art all day long, and with like having to, look at Jorge's stuff and then move forward with it. There's all these like little just like nods to Beasley. That fuck, that's so smart. That's so smart. You're just picking at this little thing and
Yeah.
then moving it forward, and
yeah.
and he's doing this thing where it's I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I feel like it's like 2D, like a thing can be a design on the page, or it can be a 3D object. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like moves back and
No, we know
forth,
what you
and
mean. Yeah.
it's
His
like a symbol, but then something's moving in 3D space at the same time, and both are acceptable, and the readers just accept it. It's just part of what it is. So
yeah.
good.
No, it's such a great way. I mean, yeah, his stuff is just so, like you said, it like pops off the page like in like the best way possible. Like it's such an interesting, that's a fun way to think about it too. So
Yeah, which is really really cool because we saw your issue 1, which was a store variant there, which was incredible
Thanks.
for the cover there. And then whenever it got announced that you were doing issue 6, that's like I tried to reach out almost immediately because I thought I just, we've been fans of your art anyway, but we thought we were going to get to see the art live on the show, and thankfully you showed us some before the show, which was I can't we can't show it all, but we can tell about how great it
For
is.
sure, we can show up a little bit. We can
Okay,
show
there we
up.
go. That's peer pressure. So, but before we get to that, we're almost to the art showcase. So everybody make sure and hang around. If you haven't
yeah,
typed in hashtag Rossmo, make sure to do that for a chance to win volume 1 of The Moon is Following Us and volume 1 of Riley's run on Harley Quinn. But this one caught us completely off guard. Like we could spend a whole episode talking about this, and hopefully you'll come back one day in the future
yeah,
next year to launch this, to talk about it, do whatever. But there's a new book collaboration with you and Daniel Warren Johnson for Image, and you were
There
gracious enough
is.
to send us some. Oh,
Yeah.
this
never mind. So, Riley's going to disappear from the stage here, but you're gracious enough to send us some art, some early art on it. So I don't know how much of this has been shown and how much we can talk about it, but we'll flash through it real quick. Uh, I
I
zoomed
mean,
in a little bit on this
I was
image.
gonna say
Incredible,
just
incredible.
this alone, yeah, it was like not at all expected, not at all. Again, we invite guests on. We hope we get to talk about their artwork and discuss it, but especially are fortunate and lucky enough to have people like yourself who give us stuff like this to show off. Because yeah, I mean, this is immediately I'm like, yes, I want whatever comic this is. I'm just like
Yeah.
100% I'm in. So
And Riley, you talked about it as much as you want to, or as little as you want to.
Well,
We'll
so Moon is following us with a wonderful experience.
yeah,
yeah.
We get on good. We're good friends. So we just do more then, right? It's
Right.
fun. It's kind of like, I feel like in some ways when when I was a little kid, I was like a big GI Joe guy. It's like you go to a friend's house and you bring your GI Joes and they have their GI Joes, and then we just figure out the story and do
Yeah.
what we're gonna do, and then you're like, yeah, but you know what? What if there's some Transformers too? Yeah. It's good there's some Transformers in this, and
It's a great
exactly.
analogy there.
It's such a
an X-wing. We'll put an X-wing in here, and then I'm like, X-wings are acceptable because it's the same scale, It's doing
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
action.
Passable. Like it's like, all right, this fits.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
So it's like,
Yeah, I'm nervous to ask questions about too many questions about this, but is this
well,
going to be dual art, or is this going to be one of
I was curious
Daniel
about that
writing and
too.
you doing
Yeah.
the
the
art
most
by yourself?
most I'm drawing most of it.
Okay, that's
Daniel will do some covers and maybe some extra bits and pieces. It's sci-fi, which I've never
Yeah.
done before, really. Not,
Oh,
that's
I guess
not
yeah.
something.
I guess yeah. True. Looking back. I mean,
Um,
kind
yeah,
of.
these are
Yeah.
jaw dropping right here. Looking at these,
okay.
how
A
long
lot
did
of
it take to draw
buildings.
that?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So,
I don't know, a day and a half or something.
holy
Yeah.
cow, that's incredible.
So a thing that I really appreciate about Daniel is that I feel like he challenges me stuff that I would not think about drawing, or that I would just concepts I wouldn't think about, or I would avoid because they're maybe uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He just writes them in the script. I'm like, I guess he trusts me to do it. It's kind of like a cheerleader.
incredible.
He's like, I guess I can draw this,
Yeah.
whatever, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a big project, and we're well into it. We want to get a bunch done, so when we launch, it comes out smoothly, and it's big. It's big, and the more time
Wow.
we spend in the world, it keeps like expanding, because you're like,
That stuff is
Yeah.
the
well,
best.
what about like I was saying, like when or building something with Lego with your friends, you're like, well, yeah, but the speeder bike's cool, but what about a speeder bike with a sidecar or whatever, you know? And then you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
and what
just
does it
add,
run on?
yeah,
Well, I guess we need
riffing
some
off
sort
each
of
other.
speeder
Yeah.
bike gas refinery. Yeah, but how's that come into play? Well, I don't know. What if we need to use the washroom or something? You have to stop at the speeder bike gas refinery washroom. Well, yeah, you know.
It does look awesome. Yeah,
And what if
George,
that's
I
where you
agree.
buy drugs or whatever? You know what I mean? And then it
Yeah,
just like
It just
expands
it's
from
like
there.
it's
continues.
like improv. Art improv is the best type
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
to
yeah,
to
yeah.
get that.
Well,
So
I love it. You know, as somebody, because I'm a big One Piece fan. I just finally caught up on all episodes and manga of One Piece, and it's one of those things too where the more I've looked into it, it's that same thing where like it was meant to be a short series, and he just kept kind of plotting things out. And so I mean, I love that. I love world building. I mean, I love losing
yes,
myself. You know, I love characters, but characters to me are only matter as much as the world they're in, the world they're a part of. So it's like that to me is
Sure.
what really sells a comic to me. So that's what I loved about, you know, the moon is following us. The world you two built together was so interesting and vibrant and imaginative, and just from these, again, just from this alone, but also the 2 pages we got to see, it's, I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to, you know, dive into whatever world this is. So
no,
Yeah,
no,
you'll like it then. There's
that's so
lots and
cool.
lots of
Yeah.
stuff, and like I said, it's if you draw on something that takes place on an Earth-like world, you don't have to like. I know what a gas station looks like, but you're like,
yeah,
well, what does a restaurant look like in these circumstances? And it's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah.
wow.
It's just,
Is
yeah, this
there
is like the small stuff. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Dustin.
no? Is there a timetable for the release? Do you all kind of have it plotted out of when you want to
Early next year,
early next year?
early
All
early
right, mark it
27.
on your
Mhm.
calendars, folks. Yeah.
And speaking of that, I mean, and world building and stuff, the Daniel's new book, the Chinkata.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was really hoping to get, I didn't get, unfortunately, the Ash Can they released at San Diego, but I'm still super pumped. I can't wait
Yeah,
to pick it up when it comes out. So
world building. If that's your thing, Tyler, you're gonna be so into it. It's crazy. It's so
that's so
ambitious. It's
cool.
so good.
Yeah. He
I
seems, yeah,
guess it's one of the perks of being a friend with. Sorry, Tyler. I was just
no,
gonna say
no,
one of the perks of
Yeah,
being a friend. You probably know a little bit more about the story than the average person. So
yeah.
we take with good authority what you're saying is true. So
That's the thing that I don't get tired of is having friends just in all different parts of comic books that make stuff, seen stuff behind the scenes. It's never tired to me. I'm
oh yeah,
always it's so exciting to me
yeah,
no,
when
I don't.
somebody sends me something like Brett sends me something or uh, like Jason Howard's drawing Transformers. Holy shit, it's cool. I love seeing just the
Yeah.
black and white pages. It's so cool.
it's
Oh, no
just, yeah,
doubt.
it's that passion that, like, it's the, again, it's the creativity when you've got that. I mean, that's what I love about comics is it's such a small industry, and you guys are, you know, there's such tight knit groups and friends, and you know, I just love seeing that shared, you know, commonality between you all. Again, it's like everybody just wants to see each other's success and strive and
Yeah.
make cool stuff, because it's like when you make cool stuff, it makes me want to make cool stuff. It makes
Yeah,
them, and it's
yeah,
just like a
right.
circle, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome to, yeah, that gets me, again, I was already excited from the image. Like I popped open the image and I was like, oh shit, like this is awesome. This, I didn't expect this, but I can't wait to dig more into it. So
Thank you for showing us that too.
yeah,
That was much
sincerely
appreciated.
appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. Before we do
Sure.
the original art showcase, we had a quick question here. Someone had joined the show late, and they said
Yeah.
they noticed that your style was a little more abstracted compared to Batman and Constantine, or that Riley's style has become a little more abstract compared to like his Batman Constantine run. What is driving that? Is a need for more expression. So, is your style kind of evolved based on
Huh.
the White Rabbit's question here?
Mm.
Um,
That's a big question.
that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I feel like it's getting cleaner, and so to
Mm.
me, like it's kind of getting less representational, but then it's also getting clean. Like they're like crossing this. Like before, I feel like I struggled a lot with like how expressive stuff was, and maybe the cartoony number proportions were more representational. Like in Constantine, the monsters are crazy sometimes, but
Yeah.
like John Constantine himself is a normal sized person. I mean, he's kind of
Yeah.
thin, like average height, and he's angular and stuff. But between that and say like Harley, a Martian Manhunter, really, really cartoony, and both of those are like have less splatter and less like extra mark making and stuff, extraneous mark making. Um, and then and then
I love that sound. It's a great.
the moon. I guess the moon is following us has a lot of texture in it too. But the newer stuff, like I'll show you some Lobo pages.
There we go.
It's
Original art
maybe
showcase.
cartoony, but
Oh, got it. I'll stop.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
but the pages are cleaner than then. So what's driving that? I just doing what I'm doing. It's just
Yeah.
it's sort of just like happening. It's just happening.
I feel like it's just part of the art process. Like same with like music or any other like field, people talk about change, but it's like, you're a different person you were 10, 20, 30 years ago. And,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
a natural, it's not like you're intentionally, or I mean, I think there's some intentionality sometimes, but there's also the other
Yeah.
side. So
And sometimes it's like I get obsessed with a tool or
Mhm.
like a look, just the look of something that I'm like, I want more of this. Like right now, I'm sort of interested in like clean lines and then a value to sort of give something volume. But instead of hashing, and I would do it all with screen tones if I could, but
yeah,
I don't have that quantity of screen
yeah.
tone, or
Yeah.
I would need an assistant to cut it off. But I'll show you.
Let's
I'll
see.
show you a little bit of stuff. So this is early on in the issue.
Ugh.
That's so good.
And so, like, the screen tone really gives Lobo volume. But
Yeah.
when I hand this over to Jean-Francois, I do a pass and add just like a gray tone, like a screen tone, just like one flat gray tone to it. And it makes everything just have more volume. But,
Yeah.
not like there's texture there, but it's not texture in terms of like cross hatching, right? Like cross hatching
Yeah.
to give a sense
Yeah.
of light and darkness.
Do you find that maybe changes depending on like the colorist, or is that just strictly like your work in general? You just kind of like doing that?
I've always, when I worked with somebody else, even like on, well, I feel like when I did Rasputin, it was interesting that you talked about that, Dustin, is that I feel like that's the first time that I worked with a colorist with Ivan Placencia that was just like, he got what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so I would put like a gray tone or two in for him. And I do that generally if I have an idea about lighting, I'll put in a gray tone. So it's there anyways. And so colors can dump it and start over or not. But I don't know. Just
No,
so
it makes
I,
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whichever way, that's what made it connect, or like that's again, it's just part of the artistic process. It's the way you do things and find that works. For your artwork. So
and I always change. I always try new stuff. Like I tried when I did the Golden Age Sandman book a bit ago. I did a mini series. I got it in my head that I was like, I have to draw everything. Or what if I try drawing everything like as big as Kirby, right? Like big, like really big, right?
massive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I did a cover, double sized, and then I rendered a bunch of it with charcoal, and then
Yeah.
I sprayed it, and then I painted on it, and then once I reduced it down and colored it, I was like, what? Why did I? This is so stupid. Why did I do this? It looks just I could have drawn it 11 by 17. And
That's so
so
funny.
sometimes I go the whole gamut.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Whatever. But
I mean, I think it's at least cool that you try. I feel like the biggest
that's a
thing.
great-
Like you did it, and you're like, hey, it didn't work out, but at least I gave it a shot. So
but then and like I said, like on this Battle Beast cover, I'm like, well, I'm gonna try doing it all with gray gouache and see how I can push it with the colors after the fact. On this Lobo page too. Another thing I like about buying original art is that sometimes you're like, oh, this is the final panel, right? But that was
That's
the first try, right? I'm like, nah, that's not dramatic enough.
so
This is
I
more
love
like-
yeah.
more
Yeah, it's
attitude,
great.
right?
That's what I love about OA, especially like the stuff like you were saying, like flipping between yours and Daniel Warren John's, like just stuff like that. That's just such a unique,
And like Daniel's pages, they're like you can see the indentations on it.
Yeah.
But I like that about all original art is that some you get something from somebody who light boxes everything, so it's
Yeah.
just like crispy, and then other ones there's like I have a Raphael Albuquerque page from Animal Man, and the page is okay, like it's a cool page, it's dynamic, and the figures are really nice. But on the back, it's just a study of just all different animals, just animal heads, all these animal heads.
That's
And like, this is
That's
what's cool here.
But it's pretty cool. I'm the Rasputin page that I have from you. It does have one of those little flip cards on the back that has different art on it. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's right.
it's funny when I.
What else can I show you here? I like this one of Lobo being buddies with the angels.
Yeah, 'cause from issue 5, we know where the Tooth Fairy is
Yeah,
located.
Tooth Fairy,
It's in
yeah.
Fairyland of Hell. So that's why
Oh yeah.
where Lobo is. I started calling him Hobo. Where Lobo is going. So, different character. Yeah.
What else? There's a bunch of little cameos in this too. Just show this one quick, like that.
Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, so, who was that? Yeah, no.
Speaking of it.
Yeah,
Scotty, yeah, you put a bunch of little just like things like that in there for me. I also do this some days if I get stuck. I just end up drawing pages of just. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the stuff that me and Tyler
Process
love.
stuff.
We've talked about that before. When artists show that, just the process
Yeah.
stuff
So
to
this
get
is
to the
like-
finished product.
This is not. I don't know. This is just how I make things, but I
Yeah.
do. Like I did a thumbnail. There's oh no, here's the thumbnail
Oh yeah.
for this, and
Oh.
then
Wow.
it's work out. See, all these heads were actually just this one.
Oh,
head.
okay,
Just trying to
that-
figure out
yeah.
what's. And sometimes
That's so good.
it's like the first one you get it, and then sometimes I have to draw it this many times for just this stupid head.
Yeah.
And like, I understand that probably any of these would be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just that little extra bit that I want, like that extra little bit. This is all is for. And also when you
Yeah.
like when I'm getting used to something too, sometimes it takes a little bit more to figure it out. How to
Yeah.
do it.
I love like Dustin was saying. I mean, that stuff is like bread and butter
So
to
good.
me. I love inks, but like I love more. So I wish there was more blue lines. I wish there was more pencils. Like I miss
Oh.
being able to get more of that like process work versus like the finished kind of final. Yeah,
Here's-
like
here's
that.
that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
I can.
that's perfect.
It's on the back of math. One of my daughter's
Hey,
math things.
I love that.
Tyler, if you want to claim that one, you can go ahead and
Yeah,
claim that
I'll
one.
Venmo you
So,
after the show.
yeah,
This
so-
is a thing that's kind of magical. It's like that's if I
It's-
could do this every day on every drawing, just like right out of the can like this, that kind of like
yeah.
spontaneity.
I love, yeah. And I mean, it's
That's
just like
it's good, right?
with such few lines. I was awful at figure drawing, unfortunately. Like I still am. I need to practice more, but I love watching people who can like capture figures and like as few of lines like that of like just the general proportions, and it's like there.
It's when you hit it, like
Yeah.
I try and go to Life
Yeah.
Drawing on Saturdays, and when you just get it, and you're like, this is it,
Yeah.
It's just like you're the king of the words.
Yeah.
Like,
It's such a good feeling.
there's I have pages and pages of this stuff that I just keep putting in the drawers.
Oh
And
man.
sometimes you just get a Wolverine just because it's the middle
I
of the
love
day.
it.
I'm gonna draw Wolverine.
Do you send any of this kind of stuff to Felix too? Because I haven't looked at much of your, or is it just more so like the inks and final?
Just final stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. You like it. If you like it, do you like it?
Yeah, I was saying, I'd buy
Yeah,
it.
we like it. We
I
like
like
it.
that
We,
stuff is like
we can talk after the show, right? Now that
So the Tooth Fairy. Did issue 5 come out?
issue
of
5's
Lobo?
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in July. Issue 6 comes out next
Oh, you
Wednesday.
said the Tooth Fairy's in it.
Yes, they revealed the
I
very
have it.
last
I just can't
page.
remember.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
very
it's at the
last
very
page
end,
was
yeah.
Okay. Right, so there's a big shot like this
Yeah.
that she's like
that's
just
so
coming
good.
down, and
such awesome, like such fun character design.
here's like cover layouts are pretty abstract sometimes when I'm figuring it out. Yes, it's like really needed to figure out what I was gonna do with this thing. It's
I mean, like the dress, like figuring, like you said, like
Dress, yeah.
getting that to fit.
Well,
I'm sure. Yeah.
part of this project that was interesting is translating let's say Jose Garcia Lopez, right?
Mm.
This
Yeah.
how he did the style guides for everything. you can look at that and then be like, okay, I can interpret this and I can make it like take it a direction, right?
Yeah.
But working off Jorge's designs is they have so much voice. So you're like, okay, so Jorge draws a tooth fairy like this, and he's like doing this thing where some of it's 2D and some is like representing 3D space, and
Yeah.
depending on how she turns, it's just pattern versus representing clothes moving around. But he has his shorthand for it in his style, how he does it. But you're having to like interpret his style, whereas if it's like just a Batman in a costume, there's all this freedom, right? So I was trying to like do justice to him kind of,
Yeah.
his whatever he did with however he got to Lobo's hair unlocked something for me that's like that's the final form of Lobo's hair is that, like this sort of like Super Saiyan.
Super
sort of
Saiyan, I
like
was gonna say,
Wolverine,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. What else do I have here?
That's super awesome, man.
Yeah. Seth,
Again-
our buddy Seth says we have to take the test first before we get any of that art that's on the back
Oh,
of
the
the
math
test.
test.
Yeah. So,
I like that. There's, like I said, it's into drawing Wolverine.
There we
right
have
now.
Wolverine, yeah, the head.
Yeah, I can show you guys this kind of stuff all day. I just have pages and pages of book.
That's
there we
yeah.
go. And we could watch it all day too, Riley. No joke. It's,
I have to say, yeah, you say when.
yeah.
Well, I'll show you guys some covers too,
Okay. Perfect.
because
Marvel vs. Dragon Ball.
I was pretty excited about this.
Oh,
The Weird Al variant.
Weird Al.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love what you do with like the hair and the like. That's so fitting.
Yeah. And I just bought tickets for
Super
my son to go see Weird Al next month.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
first time.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
speaking
Scary.
to like when I was working on Batman and Constantine, I feel like this is like pretty representational. So I don't know that I've like jettisoned all that for super cartoony, like when it's
Yeah.
appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty. I mean, it's not representational, but like proportions and stuff were more representational.
Now, but what's great when you see art like that, Riley, like the final product on the comic, you wonder how much of this is added, like in post, how much of it's done by the
Yeah.
artist. But to
Like
actually
you're
see
talking
the
about
art
the
that
hand
you're,
lettering. Yeah.
yeah, to see what you're showing us here, I mean, that's pretty much ready to go for a comic. You could slap that on a comic, add just a hair of
Yeah.
color, and it's ready to go. So
Yeah, I feel like the more black is on the cover, the less post there is to do.
Yeah.
For me, anyways. I think that probably
Yeah.
applies to most people. Like if Kelly Jones turns in a cover, I could color it in 20 minutes and it would be done. Like there's the whole cover is black. You just
Yeah.
there's a bit of blue here and we're done now. So
I love that.
Here's some
cover.
more of our secret project.
That's
Yeah,
Gosh,
we're
I
gonna be-
can't. I mean,
we're
it just
gonna be
reminded me. It's like so because Alita is one of my favorite stories, like favorite manga, and I just love again the world building and character design and stuff. So like I get those vibes and like I'm just like I can't wait to hear more about that.
Well, as we were sort of working on it, sorry that you have the super close up view, but we've I went with Daniel to Japan when there was I'm gonna butcher this, but Shiro Masamui exhibit,
sounds
so
right.
Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah,
original art
Yeah.
and stuff. So it was really inspiring to see those pages in real life and just
Yeah.
what absolute masterpieces.
that would have been
There's not
that would've
like
been- yeah.
yeah, it was really cool. Here's them. So this is like for that Lobo
Oh
store
yeah.
variant with I mean it's a pretty simple cover. It's like he's gonna be all black on the cover with like a motorcycle jacket. But it takes a few tries to get to the one I like. And then I'll take
Yeah, I
I
love
felt like this one was close. There might be another page with a few more on it. Then I take that into Photoshop. Or I just take a pen and do like one more pass
Mm.
and then scan that, blow it up if people who are interested in process. blow it up, blue line it super light, and then print it, draw a bunch again, ink it.
I love that. I love hearing about like how everybody goes through that those phases or their own.
Hang on, I'll show you one more thing. I'm just gonna make sure it's in the wild.
Okay.
That's
We
understandable.
we appreciate it.
Again, we've done more than enough ads. We can't.
Yeah. Okay. So this was something that I was hyped about.
That's good, man.
I'm a big D&D guy. I play tons of Dungeons and Dragons, and so I did a series of covers for that. They were doing a Ravenloft book at Dark Horse. It's
That
kind
is-
of like my 16-year-old self was very happy.
Now
that's
can see
all. I mean,
why.
that's what's so cool is being able to. I mean, that's such a gorgeous cover. Again, I love like when characters blend into like the environment. Like that's such a cool composition and piece. But to be able to work on something, like you said, like talking with Scotty about working on Lobo, and now you're working on Lobo. I mean, it's just stuff like that. It's so fun to see, and hear about those kinds of stories. So get us back to that.
All right, I think that's all. Maybe I have one more thing before we go. I like
There we go. One more.
No, Riley, take it. Yeah, as much as you want, man.
Just some so me and Daniel were talking on the phone.
I gotta zoom in.
Just doing the
Some like mech
I
stuff.
love that.
That's
some stuff. And then,
That's
so I can't say that about this project is that it's pushing the sci-fi stuff is really pushing my boundaries with what I'm comfortable drawing. And I drew a really cool super sci-fi wheelchair this week. And I was like, this I've won.
This is where it's
That's
at.
so
This
cool.
is my final form. I'm drawing wheels,
Yes.
like big knobby, like 4x4 wheels. Yeah.
That's
Well, let me ask this. I without asking too many questions, but is this something that you see being long running, or is this going to be more short form of like? Have you all kind of plotted that out?
Like
If you want to
Longer.
build this
It's bigger.
longer,
It's bigger.
oh my
Bigger.
gosh. Okay, that's even better to hear. So,
yeah.
wow.
No, that's awesome. And I mean, it's such an interesting. That's something we don't really. I mean, I guess we hear some artists talk about of like pushing themselves, but I like you talking about that with Daniel of him pushing you, and like you said, you being like, well, I guess he thinks he believes that I can do this. And I think that's such a great thing again, like that, like lifting each other up to just reach higher and higher statuses of like whether it's art or writing. I think that's such a great thing, especially with friends, to be like, hey, like I think you can do this. Like I know it's challenging, but like it'll be rewarding. Like you said, drawing the wheelchair kind of a deal, and like finding out things you maybe didn't think you could do, and now you're like, yeah, I could do that. So
yeah, just the story calls for it, so I got to do it, right? Right? Like so we're gonna do it, right?
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I was talking about, like I said, I can't, especially if it's again, you're talking about the world becoming bigger and like more storytelling to tell and everything. Like I can't wait to see the wheelchair. I can't wait to see the world.
It's super cool, really. Like imagine.
I'm going to like make a note. I'm like,
ATV tires. That's cool.
Yeah, after the show, Riley, if you want to show it, we'll be happy to get it. But that sounds incredible, man. But all right, I want to give everybody one last chance. I think we're actually going to do the plug. I forgot the plug first. So, Riley, this is just where we plug some of your stuff coming up. We really we like to order prizes from either an artist's shop or a local shop. Unfortunately, with us being in the U.S., I entered my address and they wouldn't ship to the U.S. location. But yeah, and the other, but we did want to make sure and plug Amazing Stories and Phoenix Comics, which were the two that you recommended, the highly recommended. So. Make sure and go support these local comic shops if you're in the area. Absolutely. So, especially if somebody like Riley's recommending them, I would take his advice above others. So, yeah, definitely go check them out. FelixComicArt.com. Tyler, if you throw the QR code up there. Riley, like we said, it's a great archive. It's a great resource to go look at art. And if while you're there, you might as well buy some art too. It's really incredible.
Might as well.
Felix is one of the best to work with. I've been buying from Felix for years. Yeah, my wife would probably be mad at me if she knew how much I've been buying from Felix for years. But he's a great guy to work with, and Riley's he picks Felix. One thing about him is he has a great taste for artists and who he picks.
Sure
So
does.
Riley, you're among good company there in Felix's crew that he's got. Uh, Fan Expo Canada coming up at the end of the month. Riley will be there August 27th through 30th. Is there any other cons that you're going to be at for the
Mm,
2026 that you want to put?
No, this is it. That's it. Got too
Okay.
much to draw.
That's it.
It sounds like it.
That's
Now,
fair.
when you go to con appearances, like you said, you were at one in Vancouver. Do you normally sketch at shows, or do you sell any of your art at shows, or what do you typically do?
Uh, just like I said, like little paintings. Just like little
Mm,
9 by 12 gouache paintings. It's
wow,
fun. It's
that's
fun. Like it's relaxing to me. It's
Yeah.
like
yes,
yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a good thing, yeah, rather than
yeah.
being stressed out and yeah.
And last but not least, the plug page. Make sure and check out Riley on all of his socials. Tyler's got the link, the QR code put
Yeah.
there. If you
The
scan
Instagram
that,
there.
it'll
You've got your website, but yeah, just the Instagram is the main
That's
place
right.
to
Just
follow.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, make sure and check him out. We'll do the giveaway, and then we'll get to our favorite section of the show, other than seeing Riley's art. That's truly our favorite, but our favorite things of the week. And Riley picked some good ones this week to talk about. So, uh, Tyler, you've got it pulled
Yep.
up. Last chance
Yep.
for everybody to put in hashtag
Hashtag.
Rossmo.
Yep. Oh, there we go. We
All
got
right.
one last entry. So
Yep.
all right, I'm gonna go ahead and draw this. Again, if we get picked, we won't win. We'll give it to the next person. So no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah. We won last week. So
We're
it
always
was
tempted to. So look at
Steph
that.
won.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
buddy
so
Scaff.
we'll have to let him know. Yeah. Congratulations, Scaff. I'll get these sent out to you before I leave for vacation.
That's fair. I
So
just bought books from him, so now we can send books to him. So
yeah, small world. Yeah, a lot of comics go back and forth, and art goes back and forth. So, our buddy Seth says it was rigged, saying the man that's won more contests on here than about anybody else. So, yeah, congratulations, Scaff. These are the two books that'll
yeah,
be coming your way. I'll message you after the show. I've got your address, so we'll make sure to get you fixed up there. All right,
perfect.
our favorite things of the week. Everybody knows this image. Everybody knows the song. Can't legally sing it to 2055, but you all sing in your head. But Riley, we love it. Me and Tyler have talked about this when
Yeah,
artists embrace this and give us a list, because sometimes they're not really familiar with what the concept of what we're doing. But you hicked right on, and man, the list that you gave was incredible. So we'll jump right in
yeah,
it.
lots of good stuff.
I'm hoping I picked the right studio series. This is the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
studio
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you been into these for a while, or is this something that just came
I'd
out?
say behind you, yeah, the section, yeah.
Yeah. I really like Soundwave. I don't. Or maybe it's too low. Can you see Soundwave right there?
Oh yeah,
Sound
yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
that's awesome. Yeah.
The whole
A bunch
yeah.
of sound waves. There's these guys. Hang on. I like these ones.
Oh yeah.
That they're like
That's
really
great.
cartoonish.
I was gonna say,
They're
I
cool,
love the colors, yeah.
Yeah.
but they're not like if my son plays with them. It's not the end of the world. Like a
Mm.
masterpiece one. That's if it breaks,
Right.
there's pieces all over.
That's
it.
true, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty into the Seekers right now. I think the Jets look really cool. Yeah.
Right. I love the
That's
fact that
the
they're out
way.
of box too. They're not. You don't keep them in the box. You have them
No, I
displayed
don't keep
there.
anything.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
the only
the-
thing
That's-
I'll show you the only thing I keep in the box.
Ooh, there we go. I'm the same way. Yeah, I break it out. I'm like, only way to display it.
This is the only one my only figure I keep in the box
Let's pull them up.
Ah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
because they used my art on the box. So
that's
That's
great.
so
I don't.
cool. I mean, you
don't
gotta
blame
you gotta
Yeah.
gotta keep it at that point.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah,
How does it feel? I mean, to grow up as someone that I'm sure is, like you said, collected, played with, to see your art on a like a action figure box like that,
That's
a
amazing.
collectible box too.
Yeah.
amazing. There's also it's buried up there. There's a Batman from the Batman Who Laughs one shot that
Mm,
McFarlane did too. It's pretty cool.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. I love
That's
that.
great. So this was a fun one to pick. Well, I was
What about you?
you know,
Do you guys like Transformers?
as a kid.
I do,
did,
yeah. Yeah.
I
Not like here, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say as a kid, I'd buy them and they would always get destroyed. And
Mm.
as I got older, I moved more into like Marvel Legends and
Mm.
those type of action figures, and that
I said,
just the budget only allowed for so much to
It
buy,
does.
but
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Beast
but
Wars
yeah,
was my favorite as a kid growing up. I remember vividly like the Beast Wars Transformers figures I'd play with. So
yeah, I've
yeah,
got a couple of friends that are really big into them, and some of the ones they show me that there's tons of steps to transform and to do. I guess
Yeah.
that's the Master Series that, and I'm afraid to hold them because they feel like if you break
Yeah.
them,
I have a Starscream that just stays in the jet form because I need to watch a YouTube video to
that's
transform
it.
him. It's too many. I get it.
that's when
Yeah.
it's like super intense where you have to like watch a video
Yeah.
to. I want to get the Lego one. I want to get the Lego Prime and Bumblebee.
Yes,
I'm a big
that's
Lego
a good
guy,
one.
so I'm like it's so cool that you can actually get a transforming Lego version. That's such a
The
cool.
Lego Soundwave is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Looks out. Yeah. Maybe at Christmas I'll get it. I don't know.
There we go.
Now, were you a fan of like I think it was HasLab that did the Optimus Prime the one that was like self transforming.
Oh,
That's
like
crazy, right?
that crazy
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I watched a ton of videos of those, and I had a buddy that bought it, but he wouldn't take it out of the box. Like and I was like, if you buy something like that, you've got to play
You
with
have
it.
to
So,
take it out.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
totally exactly. Yeah. You got to talk
So,
to it.
Yeah.
Get to transport.
all right. The next thing, this one. I haven't read the graphic novel for it. I mean, the movie, and this is a little bit more somber of title here. But is this something that you're currently reading, or is this just one of your favorites that you really enjoy?
Oh, I was just thinking of stuff that was awesome for this section, right? I'm like, well, what's awesome, right? I'm a comic evangelist, but it's just
That's awesome.
I forget who published it, but it's sort of like a book publisher, I believe, published it, and it's just like heartbreaking, and it's beautiful, and
Yeah.
I like the book and I like the movie, but I might like the comic. I mean, as much. It's if anybody who's willing to have a dark journey, this is like a masterpiece. Like, I mean, look at the artist. Like, it's
Yeah.
what's
Yeah, it's
comparable,
Wow.
I love
There's
it.
some rendering in it, like a Shack rendering. It's not as
Yeah.
cartoony, but that kind of like stuff with values,
Yeah, I love the way he does that. I mean, I
Yeah,
love
I'll
it.
have to check
This
this
is my
out.
favorite. Like you said, it's my favorite section too, because it's like things I wasn't as aware. I was not aware of the road. Now I'm like, all right, it's on my list. It's on.
Yeah, if you haven't the book, I mean, you should watch the book and read the comic and watch the movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all gonna break your heart. But
Yeah.
It's Viggo
Mortensen.
Oh, Viggo
Mortensen.
Mortensen.
Yeah.
Maybe I
the name
am
popped.
familiar with them because I love watching movies and stuff. So maybe I am familiar with the movie. Just
There's
haven't
like
watched it
there's
yet.
like a bullet with just one gun, or a gun with just one bullet. There's like a thing throughout it. Now I don't know if you'd remember it if you saw it.
No, I probably haven't
Ugh.
seen it yet, but it's definitely
If you
read-
thought
to read and
if you
watch
thought the
them.
long walk was too hilarious, then this is the perfect. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty somber. That's the best word I could use for it. But the art is really breathtaking. Just seeing this one panel that I pulled up that whenever we added it. But yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, there's no bad pages. So
I was hoping I
Oh.
grabbed the right image for this. So
Yeah.
so you'll have to talk a little bit more about this for someone like me that's not as artistic
So-
in nature.
it's acrylic paint. It's just acrylic paint, comes in tubes. But this is what's amazing about it. So it like does everything that acrylic does, but it goes super flat and super matte. So and it's like really opaque.
Yeah.
So when you scan it, it doesn't reflect at all. Whereas like if you paint with oil or traditional acrylic, you use like that stuff. It works best if you shoot a photo of it, because if you have the light of the scanner next to the painting, it
I hadn't even
does
really
weird
thought about
stuff
it.
with
It
the
would
light.
patch like edges and stuff. Yeah, that's interesting.
So it brings me great joy. It's the perfect texture for painting. I use really square brushes.
Is there anything in
I love
particular
that,
you
yeah.
paint? Is there like what do you like to paint with it? What different objects or designs?
Just heads. Just like I
Just
said, just
So you're like
busts,
your
just-
paintings. I mean, you do like
Yeah,
conventions.
you said for the
like you were talking
conventions, but
about, yeah.
I didn't know if
Or
there's anything else you
I-
painted at the house for just relaxing.
Sometimes I ink like I use the gray to, like I said, to ink like on that Battle Beast cover. So then
Hmm.
the gray tone, because it's so matte and it's so uniform that if you draw something, you ink it, or you draw something, you paint the gouache in, and then you ink it. The ink, it takes the ink really well. The acrylic does, the
Yeah.
acrylic gouache, and then you scan it. You could select all the gray, and it still has like a little bit of texture. So then you can adjust it, and it has just like a little bit more dimension. It's really subtle. I'm sure nobody notices except for me, but
I mean,
uh,
yeah, that's such
I'm
a,
into that right now. So
yeah,
What
that's awesome.
was this the technique that you used for some of the sketch covers that Felix sold for
yeah,
San
yeah,
Diego Felix Comic Con? Those are really cool.
yeah,
I remember there's a
yeah,
Rogue. I think I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're just not quick enough to get these. There's these go really fast at the show, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was
they're
really
like
really good.
this, big enough so like it's fun and I can get like lots of texture and stuff in there, but it doesn't become like daunting. Because I like the idea of painting like fully painted covers like Nick Klein. I just don't know
Mm,
how he
Mhm.
has the time because there's so much going on.
yeah,
Maybe someday I'll
Absolutely.
get there.
understandable. Yeah.
Well, you're way too busy to do it now, but yeah, it's something to look forward to in the future. Uh, I just pulled this from the Facebook page. I wasn't sure the best representation, but is there anything in particular other about Eduardo Rizzo's art that you wanted to
Um,
speak to?
I think just of like in the past even 15 years, he's like been my biggest influence.
Mm,
And just because like the economy of line and the composition, and there's not like a week that goes by that I don't just flip through something, or I'll just read an issue of 100 Bullets or something. And I've been thinking about him even more lately because there's a new 100 Bullets series that we're 2 issues into, and he's not a young man anymore, but he's just still just
Yeah,
on it, just on
yeah.
it, just so good. And he's fast too. He's fast when he wants to be. Is it? He's the best. There's not a lot of misses. I feel like even on the stuff that maybe feels a little bit rushed, it's just composed so well. Like everything's forgiven. You're like, yeah, it's a win.
yeah.
And um, a thing that I can only aspire to, and I don't know how he's fast enough to figure it out as he does it, but like in 100 Bullets. Have you guys read 100 Bullets?
Mm-mm.
I have not. It's been on my list
No,
for a
yeah.
Oh,
long
dude, it's
time, but
awesome.
yeah, I have not.
It's pretty dark and it's pretty intense, but whenever there's something happening, like there'll be, it's a crime book when there's like two people talking about, well, we have to, you know, take a hit out on this guy. And that'll just be it's talking heads, right? So you can get a comic where you have talking heads for like 3 pages and it would be functional. He'll have the conversation happening, but all around it, the world is doing other stuff. So there'll be,
That's yeah.
like somebody falls off their skateboard, right? And then some kids run up to the person who fell off their skateboard, and they take all that the skateboarder's money and they run off.
Yeah,
And then the kid's like, ah, and the whole like that's none of there's no dialogue for any of that. That's just happening while these two guys are having a
yeah.
conversation about this crime that's going to happen. It's the best. And
Well,
it's
That's
that's one
always
of
yeah.
the great comics about reading ones that when you read on the second and third time, there's things in the
Catch
background that you
stuff.
never
Yeah.
noticed. Yeah, they weren't the focal points of the main panel, but yeah, those are always my favorite comics to read, just because of the detail that's put in, the thoughts that's put in on things that's not going to draw your eye initially, but once you absorb the art, you see it. Yeah, that's really. I'll have to check out. I'll make
you
sure
should
and
check
check
it
out
out.
read that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
I
it's
like
a
you said, I've only heard good things about it. So
Now this next one, I figured I saw this and I was like, all right, this is Tyler's. This is
I
like right
have
up
I've
Tyler's
heard
alley.
of it. I've yet to read it, but I have heard again. I've heard it's on like my list. So yeah, Tower Dungeon.
should read it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's these guys go into a dungeon that's a tower. They have to get to the
That's a
top.
great.
That's it. I mean, that's kind of it. There ends up being more story to it, but the compositions and the creature design and stuff is just like
Mm,
next level. Like it's on par with like Bloodborne or Elden Ring if you like that kind
mm.
of stuff.
Like creature, yeah, creature design stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's not at all like it just remind because I love Delicious and Dungeon, which isn't at all in the same vein. It's
Oh
a silly
yeah.
one. I get a
No.
dungeon, but like silly creatures that are eating them and stuff. So no, yeah, I've gotta dig more. I've only really started to scratch the surface of like reading manga. there's like so much I've got to catch up on. Along with comics, I'm like, man, there's just so many good things to read.
Yeah, we're in a great period right now. I mean, we probably were 10 years ago and stuff too, but I feel like there's just like a plethora of stuff that I want to read. You know, like My Hero
Yeah.
Academia. How it's so good. It's so good.
It's-
and there's like
it's-
a million volumes though, you know.
It's
Right.
so I that was one of the first, actually that was the first one that really got me to read manga, was My Hero, because I watched the show and I absolutely loved it, and I finished it and I was like, because for the longest time I was like, I don't want to read it, it'll kind of spoil it, and so I was like, I want to just stay anime only, and then I was like, I have to read My Hero, I have to like find out what more happens, and so I caught up on like, I think it was like season 2, or I don't know, I think it was actually season 1 or 2 that I read it, but I've got an entire shelf here in the middle. Oh, sorry, I don't really know how
That's
to
okay.
point.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah, I was
middle one
trying
is
to-
all just My Hero top to bottom. So I've got the statues
awesome.
up there at the top, and it's all just like the Funko Pops. I've got a shelf dedicated to Aizawa. He's one of my favorite anime characters. But
Sweet.
yeah, no, it's one of my top. I just love it. It's such a good story. It's one of the few that I've watched like 5 or 6 times. I'll go back and forth and just watch it dub and sub like just over and over again. So yeah, that's
it's just,
like I said, there's so many good stories out right now.
well, Tyler, I don't know if you remember this or not, but this is not the first time this has been somebody's favorite thing on the show.
Okay, I was gonna say, it
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
familiar, yeah.
Maxi Dallo, artist for Mad
Was he?
Dog
Okay.
Morgan, he said that he's enjoyed reading these books, and I had to go back and look. I was looking at my emails now because
Yeah.
I knew I'd heard this before.
Yeah,
It just
it's
popped in
really
there.
good. It's really fun, and it's really fun.
So, second
Yeah, that's
recommendation,
awesome,
we've got to.
I
I've
know.
got to
And
get
now,
rid of it now.
so
I'm
now all
Yeah.
that means that it just moves up the like list. I'm like, all right, now you're top priority. So
now this last one, forgive me, Riley. This was like an image I took. Is this what you meant by fair food? Or
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
thank goodness. I was like, Canadian fair food may be different than American fair food. This is kind of
No, the fair just came to town.
Deep
I love it.
fried.
It's the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
deep fried food. Yeah, my cholesterol does not appreciate it, but my mouth does and my stomach does. It is so good. What's your go-to fair food?
I mean, I love a corn dog. Corn
I
dog's
was-
pretty
corn dogs are
amazing.
just the best. I don't know what it is. It's like hot dogs are good, but man, corn dogs are just next level. Like, there's just something about it.
Yeah,
I
deep
don't know
fried
what deep
butter.
fried butter is, but I'm on board with that. So this year,
That's a
this year at the fair, there was a corn dog place that had like a corn dog, and then I think there's cheese in there, and then pickle,
oof.
like a huge pickle, and then
Ooh.
hot dog in the pickle.
Oh, I think I have. I think I've
Mm.
seen that. Yeah, like it's
Good gosh.
yeah, that sounds ridiculously amazing.
Yeah, someone
haven't
said
had a corn
deep
dog
fried
in so
spicy
long.
pickles.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we did all the rides, and my daughter and our friends that with us are like, we have to do rides before we go to do the food, right? And
Smart.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. So we do all the
Yeah.
rides, whatever.
Yeah.
It is smart, yeah. And my
Veteran
daughter's
move.
looking,
Veteran
she's
move.
looking at all this stuff, and there's all these kind of things that are displayed here, right? Like what's there, and she
Yeah.
chooses of all things a sushi taco at the fair. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
you are. Okay, and it
I
was
guess-
amazing.
yeah,
She gave me a
we're-
bite. It was amazing. It was.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Okay, gosh, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. About
It like had
But-
like a nori shell and stuff. I was shocked
Oh,
too. I was like,
awesome.
"You're
That
playing
sounds-
with fire here. I don't know. It's hot in here and stuff. This is
yeah, but fair food, they tend to bring their A game to these things. So it's not the
I can
healthiest.
see it. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
watching
see,
the
there you go.
yeah.
watching some of the shows for where you see the fair people down in Texas and the big state fairs here in the U.S. and the different foods. That's where like the deep fried butter, deep fried Oreos, and all that kind of stuff
Oh
comes
yeah,
in.
yeah.
I thought
Had deep fried Oreos.
Oh, I need to try. I actually haven't tried a fried Oreo, and I don't know why, because I know it's like something I would immediately love. So,
yeah,
yeah,
we have
It's
a
making me
restaurant
hungry
over.
now.
Yeah, I started saying we could talk about this for the next hour, but there's a restaurant that has deep fried Oreos but it's not the same as a fair. To have that, be out in the open and kind of a food truck atmosphere where you can,
Right.
smell it cooking, smell the grease. Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, this is my
The
favorite.
whole thing.
Yeah, my favorite was Minnesota. When we lived there, they had their big state fair, and my favorite was going to their cookie place where you just get a massive bucket full of cookies, and then I would just walk it over to their milk place where like you could just drink infinite amounts of milk. You could just get a cup and you refill. So I would
I've
just
never
like
heard of
chug.
this.
Yeah, I
never
would
heard of
chug
this.
milk and eat cookies, and I was like in pure heaven. I was like, this is the most amazing thing I think I've ever. I miss it so much. I think about it all the time.
That's fun.
We have to go to there.
Do you guys have do you have mini donuts in the States? Is that
Yeah.
the thing?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
that's so
bucket
good.
they have like buckets of mini donuts without like the powdered icing sugar in there. Powdered sugar. It's pretty good.
It's so I'm such a weird because I know I'm a weird person, but I love chocolate. Chocolate's normally my go-to. And we went to Hawker's, this really great Korean street style food, and that was their
It's true.
dessert with like donuts, and it was like the best. I was like, well, I've seen the light. I like, and now I know how good these are, and it's not chocolate. Like that's totally fine. So. Yeah, we have every size donut in America. Exactly.
It's 100% true. Now, funnel cake. Do you like a good funnel cake, Riley?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you-
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they'll choke you if you inhale the powdered sugar too fast.
you gotta be.
It's
Yeah,
worth the
take it
risk.
slow. Yeah, take it
It's worth the
slow.
risk. It's okay.
It's
Yeah,
worth
so-
it.
Tyler lives really close to Disney. He's got season passes to Disney World down in Orlando, and they have one of the best funnel cakes with the strawberries over at the Magic
Oh,
Kingdom.
yeah.
And it's the closest thing to like a good fair food that I've had at Disney.
I've never had that, Dustin, and now I've got to make sure that I do for the next time
Yeah,
we
you have
go.
a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I've
Tyler's
never been to Disneyland. I've never been to Disney.
Really?
I really want to go.
It's wild. Yeah,
I'm jealous.
we go like every week because we're like 20 minutes from, so we've got like the park pass and stuff. And it's like the weirdest thing,
Amazing.
like just go to Disney on a whim. It's like, because
That's
I went like
okay.
twice, growing up. Now it's like, oh, I can just pop over. Yeah,
Where's the Haunted Mansion? Is that in LA?
Magic Kingdom. Well, they've got it both, so you can go.
Okay, I'd love-
It used to be that there was a slight difference. They had Hatbox Ghost in Disneyland, but they recently, within the last year, added Hatbox Ghost to Disney World as well. So yeah, so is that your favorite? Because that's my favorite ride is Haunted Mansion. So
Well, one of my friends that's in comics, he will just make a special trip whenever he's in LA or Anaheim or whatever, just for that ride. That's it. He just goes
That's
just there,
amazing.
just that ride, and then gets on with the rest of his meetings and everything that he has.
Yeah.
Just to sign.
I love
It's
that.
so funny.
well,
Yeah.
Riley, you should get with Felix. Was at OAX last year? Because I remember like
Yeah.
Playman and a few other ones. So
True,
OAX
yeah.
is in Orlando.
Yeah.
It's like in Universal's lot. So I mean, you should try to do that show
Pretty
next
cool.
March.
Yeah.
We'd love
Yeah.
to meet you in person
A
first
good
and foremost.
excuse to go to Disney World.
But yeah, I know Terry
Yeah.
Dodson. Terry Dodson had told he had mentioned that and post pictures about how he went to the show. Then later on, he had like Rise of the Resistance pictures of him with Storm.
I was gonna say so did
Yeah, it
Chrissy Zulo, and then like they would like were at Disney like the week before or whatever OAX. So, well, I guess they were also doing Epcot because Chris had his show there. So, yeah,
I'd like to do that show, and I'd like to do Heroes Con.
That's the only
Just-
two
just
cons.
one,
That's the only
just
two I do,
once.
Riley. So
Even just
Yeah.
to buy, just to even not even to sit, like not even to be like
Mhm.
a guest, but
Just to
just to go
go.
buy art and hang out.
Yeah.
those two
I
are
also
really
have
good.
I have an original art problem as well. But
you're in
You
good
would fit
company
in
because we
well.
do too.
Yes. Yeah. This
a
is not
good-
the place you want to come for
it's a
art
good-
props.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, especially those two places, especially OAX. Like, I didn't go the first year because I thought, oh, maybe it'd be two pinkies up, and I wouldn't feel not welcome, but just I was like, I'm not a big fan. I'm new to all this, but I'm so glad we did because it was like the best experience for OA stuff. So
Yeah,
Cool.
and you would fit right in there. I mean, for someone
Oh,
that
yeah.
has art to sell and can draw, I mean, they that's one of the things that they were talking about OAX is it's not as populated. There's a set number of tickets sold, so it's not as populated. So artists can get up and talk around with other artists and hang out and kind of mingle more so than a Heroes Con where it's back to back to back, just
Oh, is it?
lots of lines. So, but both are great. That's the only two shows that I go to that my wife allows me to travel to. But they're I highly recommend both of those. So we'd love to see you at
good
one of
shows,
those
yeah.
too.
cool.
Which
What
speaking
about
of oh sorry,
but
Riley.
I have questions for you guys. Now's
go.
my section of the show that I'm gonna ask you questions.
Oh gosh,
I love
okay.
it.
We've
First,
never had this
do you guys
happen
go
before.
like do you go to the store on Wednesday still? or have you ever, or once a month, or like what?
I do. All right. Do you want to go first?
Tyler, you go first.
So I would go Wednesday. Unfortunately, I only have one car, and my wife takes it to work. So like by the time she gets back, it's 6, and so I have like an hour. And now that we do these shows every Wednesdays, it's like I just can't. But I have been going for the last, I would say like good. I'm like close to a year now. Or not close to a year, maybe like past 6 months. Every Saturday I go. So I'll go every Saturday in the morning. So I'm only a few days late, but then at least it's weekly and I'm able to. And it's been nice because like I've gotten to befriend other people in the store and stuff. So yeah, it's been really fun to be able to like look forward to going back weekly. So.
And one of the cool parts, after he gets back from the comic book store on Saturday, he usually sends us pictures, me and another buddy that we have a group chat together, so we can kind of all enjoy his haul, because he doesn't just buy the new comics that are coming out. Like he's trying to complete his Invincible run, so it's fun to see which ones he's picked up from the shop.
Every now and then you get a decent purchase. So.
Oh no, you've gotten some great ones here lately. Very impressive, very impressive. I used to go every Wednesday to a shop where I work, in the city where I work, and then after COVID, they had to start opening at a later hour, so I can't go there. But thankfully, within the last year, a local comic shop called Chiefs Comics opened here in Glasgow, Kentucky, my hometown, and I try to get there every Wednesday. Like today, doing prep for the show, I didn't get to make it there, but yeah, I like to go there because I guarantee I'll go there and get my pull list. But I always like to peruse the wall too, because you never can tell what's coming out, and what cover just kind of grabs you and makes you want to buy and actually read it and see what's inside.
That's 100% been the biggest thing, is like I'm reading now more than ever. Like I was telling Dustin before, it's like it's not like I'm just picking stuff up to pick it up. It's just like, man, this looks great. This looks great. And I'll read it. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm really enjoying it for different reasons. And so it's been such a blast to like you said, find stuff on the wall. And because I'm bad about, I try to keep up with it. There's so much that comes out. I'm like, when does that come out again? And have I missed? I'm super bad about missing FOCs. So like, I try to be better about that now. Like, hey, I need to get this in, so I make sure I can actually get it rather than just hoping it's there on the wall. Because especially with how stuff has been blowing up lately, it's like I don't want it for value. I just want to read it. But it's like, some of the stuff is gone.
You got to be there, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's gone by the time I even think about it. So. Yeah.
So that's like a joyous thing for you guys, because I get so much joy of like just seeing all the new books out, just seeing like all the new books and like the potential, like what could be in there. I don't even know what's going to be in there, but what could be there.
Yeah. No, same. Because I mean, they'll hand me my snack when I walk in, and I'm like, that's great, but I'm like, I'm still gonna go check out the wall and see if I missed something, or like if something's there. Then I'm like, I was maybe debating, or
you need to see it, right? Like you need to see inside it.
Yeah, it's like flipping through, and being an artist, I'm such a visual person, so it's like, and I'm trying to be better about that, because like again, there are stories where the art might not be as strong for me, but the story is still really strong. So, but I still am a visual person where I'm like, oh, I really love the art style for this, or and also being better about like, hey, so and so who I've loved on this book is coming out with something new and I didn't know about it, so like let's check it out and see what it's about, kind of a deal. So but it's the thing I look forward to honestly the most. I'm like, when I miss it, I hate missing Saturdays. Like if something happens and I miss it, I'm like, I get like so angry. I'm like, man, I had to miss the comic store and I had to go Sunday, or I gotta wait till next week.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, doing the show on Wednesday night too, Riley, there's a lot of times there's comics coming out the day that we're having the artist on. And so I'll get up at, I told Tyler this week, I'll get up like 2:00 in the morning and download the comic off of, on my Kindle, so I can read it at 2 a.m. before I get up and go to work. And then, but I always go and pick up the hard. I don't like buying a digital copy without buying a physical copy too. But we like to read it and before the guest comes on, just so we're kind of familiar with the story, familiar with the art. But yeah, there's nothing better than going to a comic shop and actually picking up the physical copy and reading it and finding the new books and digging through some of the dollar boxes, the old boxes, and finding some books in there. It's fun. It's a good way to waste a whole day, and it's better than. Don't tell Daniel, but it's better than playing golf, going through a comic shop for all day. So, as much golf as he's been posting lately. So.
Right. I told to my brother and dad, they just got back from their golf trip, and I was like, one of my friends was like, "Why don't you go?" And I'm like, "I don't golf. They don't invite me because I don't golf."
I don't either. So. A good walk spoiled. Mark Twain, I believe. Well, I will. Scaff had asked what cons you're going to be at this year. He had missed that out. Scaff, congratulations! You won the package. He must have tuned out.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because he gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we had said, and I'm going to go back to that just so we can let everybody know if they want to come see Riley. He will be at Fan Expo at the end of this month, and this is the last con of the year due to some big projects coming out. Really looking forward to hearing more about
I
those.
won.
Yes, Jeff, you won.
You won.
Congratulations, Jeff.
You won.
Congratulations.
No, we're
Yeah,
resending it now.
yeah. Now I've got to get back to there. We are. Um, I've just had one favorite thing of the week. I don't know if either one of you all are familiar with this guy. I accidentally stumbled across
I
him
somewhat am,
on
yeah. I was trying
Facebook.
to remember why though.
He's so dry, so subtle, but I was cracking up and laughing. He's the real Sam. Good gosh, I'm gonna butcher his last name. I haven't heard his last name pronounced, but Al Khatib. Yeah, I didn't do good on it, but yeah, he's a great. It's very uplifting. Some of his skits are just funny, but lots of food related skits. So
Sweet.
as much as
I'll
we
check him out.
enjoyed the fair, yeah, make sure and check this guy out. He's from Staten Island, so you can tell in the accent it's right off the bat, but very dry but very funny. Definitely recommend.
Awesome.
Nice. No, I added him. Like I said, I've seen like a few of the videos, but I hadn't followed him, so I'll have to go check
Skeff
out
must.
some more.
Yeah, Skeff said, yeah. It looks.
That's
Says I
always
follow him.
that's
Yeah.
always the best. I love when like I'm like, oh, I should go follow this person, and I'm like, oh, I already do. Why did I forget that I followed them? I guess that's the thing where it's like again, it's dependent upon if they show you their stream or not. So
Yeah, very very good guy though.
mine was kind of into similar like food stuff again, talking about parks. So Alexis and I had a date night Sunday, and so we went to Universal because we're going to be doing Halloween Horror Nights later this year with my sister for her
sweet.
30th.
That
And
sounds
it's become
great.
like a yearly thing. We've gone like the last few years, and it's funny because I was never really into horror growing up, and I never really cared for. I'm scared easily. Thanks to a dad who would like to play jokes on us after watching horror movies. So, I've got PTSD, but as the years have gone on, I was like, oh, I'm never going to go to Halloween Horror Nights. It's just not for me. Like, I'd rather go do Mickey's Not So Scary because I'm a, scared kid at heart. But it's been a blast. I actually really love going, and like, I've gotten more into like horror movies and stuff. Like they're going to have a Hellraiser house. So like we watched the first 2 Hellraiser movies, and I was like, these are wild. I'm like, yeah, I was like, I can't. I was like, it's such an interesting world, like the Cenobites and their whole I'm like, what a wild like story to like deep dive into. Oh, that'll be easy.
Yeah, Clive Barker. Yeah, he's a.
But they had this cool, I've got the Club Juke from Sinners. Sinners was such a fantastic movie. I cannot wait to go through this house. I'm a big Stranger Things fan, so of course, the WSQK stuff, Upside Down. I love that. They had one previously. And my sister's also big. I can't wait for her. Like I was showing her stuff, like calling her, like, hey, you got to check this stuff out. There's the Hellraiser food truck they're gonna have. I can't wait to see what weird food items they're gonna have. Like they had the box on the back. Cool. And I'm a big Fortnite guy. So they had Fortnite because they're having a Fortnite section, which people are split. They're like, this is stupid, and some people are like, this is cool. I love Fortnite. I can't wait to like watch kids floss like in that area. Like I think that's gonna be absolutely hilarious. But they had like the broom there that you could fly on. They've got like the bricks and wood that you could build like in game. So I was like, that's going to be such a fun. And I just included the Simpsons right. I took a picture for my friend who's a big Simpsons fan. And then the bottom right is go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say you've been before. You said this is like the how scary like is this compared to like a standard haunted house?
I would say like it's honestly pretty standard. It's way less scary than I thought it was going to be. Like it's mainly jump scares, but it's like you're so close to the people in front of you that it's like you can see most of it coming. And also, I kind of distract myself by attempting to scare my sister-in-law, who always is in front of me. So like, if I focus on scaring her, I won't be scared as much. So I kind of, and it helps, I have like a drink and that kind of loosens, it's not as bad. But they have introduced like you can get like a light that like they won't jump scare you, like it signifies that like, hey, don't I'm a little bit more frying, which I think it's nice to be able to like have, and they'll kind of poke fun at you, which is kind of fun. They're like, oh, are you scared, like, which I think is kind of like a fun way to go about it. So but it's not nearly as bad. Like I said, it's the one that I didn't go in, it was Terrifier. They had a section and a wet section, and I was like, nope, I'm good. Like I don't want to even think about what that entails going through a wet section of Terrifier.
Yeah.
Like
Art the clown. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I hadn't realized how intense like like my wife was watching and she was like,
A
look
lot.
at this scene and like showed me, and I was like, that's some of the most grotesque stuff. Like
Yeah.
I was like, that's I was like, I don't know, that's not that's not for me kind of a
Gratuitous.
deal,
Yeah.
but it'll be
Yeah.
interesting because go ahead.
No, you answer.
I was just gonna say that normally I only go in like 1 or 2 houses because I'm like, hey, I've got like the 2-3 main ones that I want to do, and then I'll kind of dip out. But this year we're splurging and we're doing fast passes. So that way we'll be able to hit
Okay.
everything. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to go
Good
through every
idea.
house, whether I want to or not, to make it like worth the value. So, but I think it'll be fun. I don't think there's any that are like too crazy that have been announced. So, but then after that, of course, we got drinks at Margaritaville. That's my wife's favorite place is Margaritaville. She loves a good margarita. So started there, and then we went to Big Fire Grill for the first time, this like steak place, because I was like, I'm really craving steak. And we had like gift cards. So it was like, all right, cool. We're not going to, it's like,
Even better.
They go like the girl math, but like the math, it's like, oh, whatever. We're not really spending the money. But they had this really
Nice.
artisan sourdough bread with this herb garlic butter, but this like really sweet orange jam, which I really loved.
That looks incredible.
And then I got a Wagyu sirloin, which I was like, whatever, I'm gonna be fancy and splurge, and it was really good. I was like, man, it was like exactly what I was craving with like the broccolini and the mashed potato. But yeah, it's a gorgeous restaurant. I like City Walk. City Walk has good food, which I like. Like Disney's okay. Like there's not really. Like again, being more kid, it's a lot of chicken nuggets and burgers and that kind of stuff. So I like going to City Walk. There's more like choices that are a little bit nicer. So, but yeah, it was really nice. I definitely want to go back. My mom's funny enough visiting here next month, and she like saw this and like, all right, we're gonna have to go there. And I was like, yeah,
Gotta go, I guess.
I'd go just for the sourdough. That's totally fine with me. So
Yeah, twist your arm. That
yeah,
looks
I
incredible,
know
Tyler.
exactly.
It's,
Yeah, they're like, yeah. So yeah, it was a good time. So
Sweet.
awesome.
good time out.
Well, I gotta go, but I'm gonna leave you with a
Yes,
Halloween
sir.
recommendation. Okay.
Ooh, yes.
sir.
Halloween movie. Okay. It's the best. Don't read anything about it, and you gotta stick it out. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. It's a movie called it's not scary. It's a comedy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's called One Cut of the Dead.
One cut of the okay, because I haven't. I was like curious if I had heard about it or not.
no,
Cut
I
of
have
the
not heard
movie.
of it.
It's like
Yeah.
to me, it's about a perfect movie.
One Cut of the Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to add that to the notes.
Just write
here
it
so
down.
we can-
Watch it. Great Halloween movie. Feel good movie. There's
Oh, that's
zombies in
awesome.
it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the poster. Yeah, I'm not gonna look up anything. I'll just watch it. Yeah,
No.
If
It's
you
I
got
love
to
like,
be
getting
one of
homework,
Halloween,
yeah.
but you don't like scary stuff, this
Yeah.
is
this is a good one.
Yeah.
That's
It'll
awesome.
It'll make your day. You'll watch and you'll be like, oh, I like being alive.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's great. Well, Riley,
Good
thank you so
feeling,
much.
man.
Yeah, we're about 5 minutes from wrapping it up, but thank you so much for coming on and
Yeah.
hanging out with us. It was such a blast to get to know you better and get to know
That
you
was
a lot
awesome.
better.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Anytime you ever
really
want to come
appreciate
back
it, yeah.
on, you're more than welcome. Now that you're a good buddy, especially,
Yeah,
you're more than welcome to come on.
Certified.
Just let us know. Yeah, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Yes,
Take care.
sir.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Okay.
All right, I've got some homework to do then.
Yeah, I love it when guests. I mean, the fact that he asked us some questions was. Caught
I
me
know.
off
I
guard.
was.
I got
Yeah, it
nervous.
was like I got to. Like this is my segment now. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I thought, oh, I'm out of water too, so I'm in trouble. So, but he couldn't have picked a better time to jump off because we're wrapping it up now. So we
That's here I
appreciate
am.
almost 2.5 hours. And just incredible and generous with his time, much like
Yeah.
a lot of the artists that we've had on here. But Artist Alley, Baltimore Comic Con is in September. With a list of good buddy. Yeah, Tyler's mom's definitely gonna be a guest on the show one day. She has been once. I've got to add her
Once,
to our
brief
guest
cameo,
list.
yeah.
So, but make sure to check out Jeffrey Brown, Brett Bean, Josh Lewis, and David Peterson, all good buddies at Baltimore Comic Con in September. But this next weekend, please go. Not this next weekend, the end of this month. Please go check out Riley Rossmo and super duper good buddy Derek Loftman, who we forgot to mention this last week. So we're double making it up for him.
Yeah,
this
we
week.
left out his slide when he was on.
Yes. So we really laid back last week. Last week was our easy peasy week, but yeah, we've got to treat Derek with all the respect that he definitely deserves. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
so make sure and go say hi to Riley, go say hi to Derek, give
Yeah.
them the good buddy handshake, see if they acknowledge it, and hopefully they will.
Yeah, they'd be like,
Yeah.
good buddies. What is that?
Yeah, I think this is the last con for both of these guys of the year, so
Yeah.
this will be your last
Both
chance.
both busy people. Yeah. So
So if you go tomorrow to post office or wherever you get passports at now, you might be able, if you're in the U.S., to get a passport in time
All
to go
right.
check these guys out. So just, we won't encourage sneaking into Canada. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
there we
So
go.
previews next week. I will be on vacation,
Yep.
and my wife. I said, I guess we could do a show from vacation, and she threatened to divorce me. Uh, Last weekend, she actually asked me, Tyler. She said, "Are you gonna be doing work on the vacation?" I was like, "Well, I got to take my laptop with me if work needs me." She said, "No, no, I meant for your show." I said, "Well, yeah, I will definitely be doing show work on our vacation." I was like, "That's not work to me. That's fun." So,
Oh
but
goodness, yeah.
the week after that, another one of Tyler's that highly recommended artists that
Yeah.
he introduced me to. Very very talented man. I sort of young man. He's all
He's
these
a
guys are
young
younger,
man.
but
Yeah, he's a young.
so Anderson Carmen. He'll make sure it's a different time than we normally come
Yep.
on because he had a prior engagement, and he even offered to come at our normal time, but we didn't want to make him have to rearrange his schedule. We appreciate him offering, but yeah, at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, he'll be discussing his new book, Cyber League,
Yep.
and then we'll have our 100th episode directly after that. But our next artist that'll be on is Terry Dotson. He'll be coming up in September. So make sure and hang out with us till then. We are full to the end of the year, and we got some great names coming up that are right up there with the guys we've had so far.
Yeah.
So make sure.
Again, we've been blessed with all the incredible people who have been generous enough to give us their time, like Riley tonight. So yeah, it's just
Yeah,
every
just too
guest
much.
is
Too
a
much.
and an honor. So
Yeah, we don't deserve it. We know that. So don't
and
don't
we're
think about who do they think they are. We know exactly who we
yeah.
are. We don't. So, if you'd like to be on the show, like I said, we are pretty full for the rest of the year, but we are already starting to look at 2027. So make sure and reach out, and don't forget our 100th episode. This was episode 98. After Anderson's, we'll be having our 100th episode. Yeah, keep pinching yourselves. I've got bruises from all the pinching I've done. Our 100th episode is going to be a big one. There's going to be big giveaways, big memories that we'll rehash. Tyler, what you got there?
No, it's just I was gonna get out the box again. The box that
That's
was.
that's what I was hoping you was
I
reaching
didn't
for.
really because again I've got to make the promo stuff for everything, but the tease, the box again, the Brett Beam box. What's in the box? I guess you'll have to
It's in the
come
box.
to episode 100 and find out. We'll reveal what it is before the show, but
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do some
be having
promos.
I'll be having some fun with some marketing for this again. Brett and his wife Julie were incredibly gracious enough to send this to us. Completely out of their own kindness, like unprompted. So we'll be tagging them. I can't wait to have them on or to be able to reveal
Right,
have them
absolutely.
on. They're not going to come back on. Brett is done
They're
with
not.
us.
He's
Julie
done.
maybe, but probably not.
Yeah, we'd be better off. I mean, we'd be more likely to get the Julie than Brett. But
Yeah.
Brett's been, in all seriousness, he's been on twice. He was very generous with his time both times he came on. So we're just kidding because that's what he would expect. Brett's got a little bit of a twisted sense of humor, and that's one of the reasons everybody loves him
Yeah,
and Dork. So,
exactly.
but you all will flip out. It's a great prize that Tyler just held up in the box,
Yeah.
and we're going to give away probably about somewhere between 4 or 5 prizes for people that share the show, promote the show. There may be extra entries in for you, so we'll
Mm,
start promoting. That's one of the things we'll try to work on next week is getting our promos up for the 100th show,
yeah.
along with Anderson's show. So.
I hopefully have a teaser up tomorrow. Teasing again at the box won't be much of a reveal, but again, just trying to build hype again. We like doing these giveaways. It's fun to see the usual names in there, but we like to give as many people a chance or a shot at getting one of these prizes as we can. So it's again fun to be able to get the more names. The more fun it is for us to be able to ship to somebody who maybe hasn't received something. Gets a Good Buddy sticker, gets a Good Buddy business card, something like that. So again, if we'll be posting it. So, when you see it, hit the like, hit the reshare, any of that good stuff. We don't normally, again, we're not pushers for that kind of stuff, but we do it just because, again, it's fun. 100 episodes. Again, we wouldn't have thought that we would have
Absolutely not.
been doing it for this long, let alone 100 plus, again, turning into something like it has with Good Buddy Comics versus, the Scotty talk that we started out with. So,
Yep. And I think during the 100th episode, I'm going to start off with the Scotty Stupid Fresh Fest.
There we go. I
And then
like
just
that.
do like as we get to the episode review that we
You
switched
just
over to Good Buddy.
have both on, like you just like wear it
Yeah, so
backwards, and you're like, all right,
I
time to
flip it back,
flip it
have the
around.
Dustin.
Oh, we turned into Ryan. Is that what we?
Yeah, we don't want Ryan back. So Ryan is Derek is Tyler's alter ego for one episode. But no, thank everybody that may be watching and replay or that tuned in with us for this 2.5 hour marathon of just a great episode. We really enjoyed this. Riley was an absolute pleasure to have on, and so forthcoming with art.
Yeah,
I hope we don't show up on Bleeding Cool News tomorrow going, who are these guys that got the drop on?
I feel like it'll happen. I feel like it was bound to happen eventually, kind of a deal. So it's like,
Yeah. So as we said to him when he was on here, thank you again for being our buddy tonight, Riley.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll come back and hang out with us. If not, we do appreciate the time you did share. So
yeah. He was incredibly kind. We can discuss, but he's immediately sent a message thanking us for having him on. So
it's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, such a nice person. So
I like Canadians. I'm a big fan of Canadians. They're great people. So I told Derek that today too. So.
We've had 2 on the show. We've got 1 or 2 in the chat generally. So
Keith was a non-artist fan.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, 3. I forgot 3. You're right. Yeah, that's 3.
So that was earlier on in the show.
Yeah.
So really Keith Berkman. I'm going to give him a name drop there as well.
No, that's a good call out. So
all right. Well, thank you all for tuning in hanging out with us tonight as always. And we really do appreciate it. We cut up a lot, but thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts.
No, like you said, it's makes it more fun. I love being able to see the chat go by and put up comments and all that stuff. So we appreciate it as always. Again, like Dustin said, we won't be here. We'll have next Wednesday off. He'll be on vacation. That'll kind of give me some much needed downtime, and also I can work on again some promo stuff for episode 100. Again, we're trying to make it as as big as for us. So
yes.
But until then, 10-4 good buddies, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Appreciate it as always.